I've been called a hero, the hero who saved the world from the monarch of the underworld, the one who stained half the world with blood. I was once called the Dragon Slayer King, Aiden Albard. However, I had no choice. Being Albard, the monarch of the underworld, is a perpetual existence. You see, those who have killed him don't simply die, but become a new monarch of the underworld. It would be a great honor for you, the Dragon Slayer King who killed the monarch of the underworld, to take on his mantle, wouldn't it? Please make that last sacrifice for the country. We've simply run out of options. I don't seek your forgiveness, Aiden. And Aiden thinks, you're not even going to ask for forgiveness? You've worked hard all this time, now it's time for you to rest in peace. Great Seal, Claymore. I thought we were friends. I thought we were comrades. I trusted that we were the greatest allies, but it was all a big lie. I want all this to fuck off. It's better to die than to be stuck here forever. They sealed me in the endless abyss, a place where time doesn't exist, a bottomless pit. As I fell into that eternal darkness, I kept repeating the same thought. Fucking bastard, I'm going to kill you with my bare hand. Oh, shit, what's going on? Where am I? Young master, oh dear, you're awake, thank God. My precious boy, you're awake. Son, what the hell? Who are you? He gets up on a bed, surrounded by several people worried about him. Ah, my boy, you slept for 2 days. You must have gone mad. I am your mother, my little son, my dear son Aiden Remes. No! Albard, I'd rather die in eternal darkness than. Ah, my son, are you alright? He starts to feel a lot of pain in his head and his mind is flooded with darkness. What are these memories? Why am I being bombarded with memories of a boy called Aiden Remes? Wait a second, is that me now? 45th year of the imperial calendar. I was abandoned by my companions before I could become the monarch of the underworld and was forced to. Sorry, YouTube doesn't like that word, self-sacrifice. In the void, on the border between worlds, I ended up dying. Damn you, even if you beg, I'll find a way to kill you all, one by one. He gives his servants a sinister look, but the previous owner of this body was a disgusting guy, a complete scoundrel. Even if I did come back to life, why did I end up in a body like this? And why did I suddenly turn up missing for 2 days, drunk and drenched in rain? If I wasn't the Duke's son, I'd have been beaten to death by now. In the next scene, he looks in the mirror to analyze himself. Well, that's certainly strange. Deep down, in my soul, I really am Aiden Albard. Have I dreamt all my life about this person called Aiden? Okay, now that I've thought about it, why not check the powers I had? System, open. And his name is Aiden, but the system hasn't quite decided what his surname is. Race, human. Titles, King of the Mercenaries, Reaper of the Witches, Nemesis of Talos. He also has 3 other titles that are unavailable. The system explains, titles marked as unavailable will have their restrictions lifted sequentially upon qualification. System, the power I gained from consuming the heart of the Bezer dragon, along with the epithet of Dragon Slayer King, I still have. So it wasn't all a dream. However, my name is still broken. That bothers me a bit, but does it matter anyway? This is actually a gift from the god. Now I can find those bastards and tear them limb from limb. Just then, a servant overheard everything he was saying. Oh, what's up? I brought you some tea to drink, sir. Ah, thank you very much. It was a great time. I was thirsty. And the waiter think, thank you? Did he say thank you? What does that mean? He's going to torture me. He's going to tear me limb from limb. Oh, okay. This tea is pretty good, actually. While he continues to drink tea, the servant is still very apprehensive. Did he like it? Really? Did he really say thank you and enjoy the tea? What's going on with the Duke? Oh, you're still here? Do you have something to say to me? Ah, no, sir. Hey, man, how did you get out of that place alive? He said thank you. He said thank you. Thank you. Has he really gone mad? And the protagonist thinks, okay, I shouldn't speak without thinking. He exaggerated a lot just because I said thank you. So I've gone back 15 years? What happened to my original self? Does this exist on a separate timeline? By now, I should have gained my independence from Master Balcony, a former mercenary, shouldn't I? Okay, I'll have to find out. Ah, Philip, come here quickly. Oh, yes, of course, Master. He had never called me by name. I have a few questions for you. And just hearing that, Philip shits his pants, just imagining what kind of question the protagonist is going to ask. Are you alright, Philip? Thanks for everything, Philip. You'll be remembered. What the hell is wrong with the Duke today? Later, he tells her what he really wants to know. Ah, Mercenary King. Do you know anything about a Mercenary King or anything like that in history? And the protagonist thinks, I was quite famous as a disciple of the Mercenary King. Ah, yes, there are rumors of a Mercenary King who disappeared some time ago. So he disappeared this time too. But, Mr. Duke, I've never heard of the Mercenary King having a disciple. What? Haven't you ever had a disciple? What is my original self doing? I mean, where did I go? And in his flashback, in a certain city ghetto, we're going to test this little guy here today. Our protagonist, still a child, bumps into a man and manages to pickpocket him, taking several gold coins from him. That's it, he thinks, and to think he had so much gold in that little bag. But the man comes back and approaches our protagonist. You're pretty brave, aren't you? This man is none other than the king of mercenaries, Valkan. How dare you think of stealing my money? Huh, well, in any case, I'm sorry, sir. You're a very determined boy, aren't you? From now on, Bazan, you're my disciple. I'll train you to be the best mercenary. Ah, sir. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And that's how Aiden Albard met Master Valkan. From that day on, he made a name for himself as Master Mercenary Valkan's greatest disciple. And after killing the Slayer King, he earned the nickname the Dragon Slayer King. Ah, Master, I've never heard any rumors that the Mercenary King had a disciple. No, not at all. Don't tell me that the disciple, me, Aiden Albard, disappeared in this timeline? Later, at the Duke's mansion, don't you think the Master has changed a lot lately? Philip even spilled wine and he didn't throw it in Philip's face. And the other time, he even thanked me. Suddenly, he started calling me by my name in a pleasant way. They say that people change after a traumatic experience, don't they? I guess that's true. Has the Duke really been alright lately? He seems a bit spiritless, you know? And his eyes seem a bit empty. Oh, what a drag. I have nothing to do. My meals are prepared by the servants and I don't have to wash dishes either. In my spare time, I even tried to research Aiden Albard, but, as expected, I don't exist. So what about the betrayal I suffered? What about my hatred and all my revenge? Until he hears several sounds in the background and sees that a fight is taking place. It seems to be a training session between the guards. Ah, so they're knights. There aren't many knights in this mansion, are there? So you're here, says Carl Rest. This is Aiden's younger brother, Carl Rest. Unlike the previous owner of this body, who is a scoundrel, Carl is diligent. He's already become a knight, despite being the second son, and is entitled to the succession because he's much better than I am. But what's the only thing wrong with this guy? Why are you here? Shouldn't you be there drinking as usual? He has no respect for his older brother. He must have found his older brother so pathetic, seeing him busy drinking and playing all day, that he lost all respect. From his facial expression, his disgust at his superiority is immense. I don't know. I'm just watching the guys train. Knight training is not a show. If you're not here to fight, you'd better leave. Now that I think about it, I've never held a sword since the fiasco that happened. Okay, very good. What did you say? That's what you heard. I'm going to fight. And already at the training camp, I am training Knight Bazan of the Remes Knights. I greet the young master Aiden before the fight. We mustn't stop this. After all, he's the young master. Do you still think Bazan won't be fired for this? After all, he's going to lose on purpose, isn't he? And Bazan, meanwhile, is thinking, oh, this is bad. I can't believe I have to fight him anyway. How can I act to lose against someone so weak? He sees our protagonist losing a fight to a street dog and think, this guy's probably thinking of losing on purpose, isn't he? Well, I haven't warmed up in a while, have I? How about teasing him a bit? Don't try to lose on purpose. Do your best, okay? A trainee knight like you, who loses to a weak, useless alcoholic, is even more useless, isn't he? If you lose, I'll have to remove you from the order. And his brother thinks he's finally lost control. He's never held a sword, but now he wants to fight the knight for real? Then, young master, I shall begin. The guy was very fast, but our protagonist was able to counter the blow very easily. This hurts more than it should. This body is very weak, but for some reason I'm feeling the adrenaline of combat again. They keep exchanging several blows with the wooden sword, and the guards are thinking, my god, you idiot Bazan, are you losing to him? Are you really trying your best? Bazan is really suffering there, and the guards are really thinking, how is the young master doing all this? He's managing to hold this fight. How is Aiden doing all this? Oh, damn, how did he do that? I was sure he wouldn't stand a chance against me, so why can't my sword hit him? Ah, I feel so refreshed. I can feel my warm blood rushing through my veins. Meanwhile, Bazan is getting more and more desperate. It's been a long time since I felt this euphoric in combat, and the guards are increasingly impressed with Aiden because he's never fought this well. What? That school is going to win against my trainee? That guy who lost to a street dog? The young master's attacks have changed. It's as if he's hiding his abilities. How the hell is he making those moves? After so long living lazily, I must have forgotten. Even with this weak, muscleless body, I am still Aiden Albard, the Dragon Slayer King. And then he strikes a blow so powerful that it almost breaks Bazan's guard. With a very fast attack, so fast that the other guard couldn't even see it coming, he comes very close. So, have you given up yet? And the guards acclaim, my god, that's absurd. He's really beaten the young master. Ah, thank you very much, Carl. Thanks to you, I was able to appreciate how refreshing that fight was. I'm glad to hear that. Well, I'll visit you from time to time. Let's fight again, shall we? I have to go now. I'm tired. The guard think this really is the young master scoundrel everyone knows. At night, in the Duke's mansion, oh, I can't believe this body got so tired after a duel with a trainee. But our protagonist gives a little smile. Anyway, I was much calmer after stressing myself out. It was an invigorating experience. God has blessed me with a new opportunity for revenge in this life. Even so, those guys are so talented that they could be called one-man armies. And considering that they also have high status, it certainly won't be easy. The heir to the great duchy of the Sires, the Night King Sylvetta, the chosen saint of the cult of Carnage, the saint of the Iron Blood Spica, the Archmage, and even the second imperial prince of the immortal empire, the great Alchemists. I can't even compete with any of them right now, but if I miscalculate, I could end up facing them all at once. one. That's why, in order to achieve my revenge, I have to eliminate them individually before they join forces. The moment they join hands, even at my peak in the past, I had a hard time. I need to finish this within 5 years before the allied force is created to subjugate the wizard. And to do that, I need to tear this rotten body apart and fix it. In my current state, I won't even kill a goblin, let alone get revenge on those damn bastards. Then I had an idea. The next day, early in the morning, young master, are you buying all this stuff here? What the hell do you want to do this time, master? What? Do you have a problem with what I ordered? The items are expensive, but that's not the problem. We have money. They are herbs of the best quality, but why are all the products you ordered poisonous? The protagonist think, well, I explained myself that I need these ingredients, but they'll doubt me for sure. The owner of this body here must have done something very bad, right? To add to poor Philip's trauma, the protagonist looks at him with a very simple, almost happy face. It could even be dangerous if you learn about it. Are you sure you want to know what I want these things for? Oh my god, if I tell you, it's so exciting just thinking about it. It must have been boring for you, because I was quiet these days, wasn't I? How about revisiting old times, Philip? Damn it, I'll get everything ready right away. And poor Philip runs off. Okay, now what I have to do is get strong by any means possible and imaginable. Although I didn't think about such things in my past life, now that I'm the son of a duke and I'm swimming in money, it's a completely different story. Besides, I've already experienced reaching the level of a superhuman, a master swordsman, so I know very well how to get to that level faster than anyone else. The problem is that it's not a very common way of doing things. A month and a half later, our protagonist is already in shape, training with his sword. Philip, please, a mana potion. Of course, young master, here it is. He drinks it all in one go. That's my method. Train, medicate, heal, which involves lots and lots of mana potions. I push my body to the limit through very intense and extreme training and exercise, and then restore my body with mana potion. A single potion costs about the same as all of a commoner's living expenses per month, but being the son of a duke, carrying a lot of money, make this method possible. And my secret weapon. Philip, what about the other things I asked you for? They were delivered to your room, sir. He thinks I really want to ask him what he's planning to do with all that, but I don't want to see that look on the master's face again. I'm not the least bit curious, really. Later, in his room, the flower of anguish, lily of hell. He really did buy all the poisonous herb I asked for. I never thought I'd use this method on myself, but here I am, right? This method was created by those bastards Calcis and Shora. They say that while the poison wreaks havoc on the body uses everything available to survive and, in the process, ends up unlocking hidden potential. Ouch! I could easily die doing that, but all the ones I've bought are great quality. It's going to be okay, isn't it? Well, I've already beaten death once, so what the hell? Let's go! And he takes a bite of the poisonous herb and also drinks everything in that other bottle. He makes a disgusted face, almost vomit, but manages to hold it in. Oh, my stomach hurts so much. What the fuck? And what's worse, I'm going to have to repeat it 100 times. But my mana flow has actually become much smoother. As expected from those bastards, they really were clever, weren't they? Is this fun for you, Dragon Slayer King? I know that voice. Why the hell are you here? Come out at once. I have no doubt it's the same unforgettable voice that has been engraved in my mind for eternity. Master, master, what's wrong? Young master, get out of here. But I heard some loud noises and don't make me repeat myself. Get out. Oh, okay, fine, sorry. It's not a hallucination. I certainly heard it. It's the voice of the sovereign of hell. He even knows who I really am. And why is he here? Oop, looks like you caught me. It's been a while, Aiden Albard. It's you, Lord of the Underworld. You damned Lord, son of a, __. What are you doing here? I killed you. I'm sure of it. Oh, the way you're calling me. You must have missed me a lot, haven't you? Unfortunately, even if you try your best, you won't be able to see me. I no longer have a physical body. Oh, so how come you're talking to me now? Have you forgotten, Dragon Slayer? In your last moment, you died becoming the new Lord of the Underworld. What are you trying to say? I'm the Lord of the Underworld now? Well, more or less. Half right and half wrong. The moment I died, I transferred my soul into your body. Originally, my plan was to revive using your body and taking over the 5 viscera of your organ. But my suicide failed. It's not your plan, asshole. Okay, so you mean your soul exists inside me? Yeah, you could put it that way. So can you at least tell me how I kill you? Do I pour the holy power into my body? Wait, Dragon Slayer King, please listen to me. Or is the only way if I kill myself again? Oh, don't do that, please. I'm different. It's like at the end. Aren't you just an entity that loves madness and chaos? The madness and chaos you witnessed were not originally mine, but due to the link with the demon god. That link was severed the moment you were imprisoned in the void. Yeah, that's probably why you're even more elegant these days. Back then, I couldn't even talk to you properly. I can still see your thoughts, you know? And who is this demon god? It's the first time I've heard of him. The demon god, also known as original sin, is the ultimate accumulation of all the evil that exists in the universe. He is a being that even the other gods have to watch out for. In the past, I was cursed to carry out the will of this demon god. So, let me ask you one last question. Okay, is the current situation part of your plan? Ah, what do you mean? What do you mean? Going back 15 years into the past and possessing my current body. Is that you're doing too? About that, maybe. When I entered your body, I used the dragon mana you possess to go back in time. What? Is that possible? As it happens, the gods created dragons to be their agent. As such, they can also interfere in the world, and using their dragon mana to reverse time is not an impossible task. Let's take it easy there, my friend. Have you left your like? Have you subscribed to the channel? If you're a member, you're watching this video here without an ad. And if you're already a member and you're not on the Discord server, man, get on the Discord server. There are a lot of benefits waiting for you. It's all here in the description. And for those of you who want to support the channel and don't know how, use the hype tool that will appear on the screen. It helps us a lot. Let's get to the video. So why didn't you use it to escape the void instead of going back in time? Oh, that. I felt so tired all of a sudden. I think I'll rest. Hey, don't you dare disappear. Hey, where are you? Don't let me down, you asshole. Another month has passed, and since then, the demon lord has spoken to our protagonist occasionally. Although having him inside your body is a bit disturbing, having someone who reminds you of the past is actually quite useful. I even feel a little relieved to tell the truth. Oh crap, I destroyed another training dummy. But this method really is very effective. Anyway, I'm going to have to stop training with dummies at some point. Our protagonist is very tired from all the heat and sees something in the distance. The knights are training, aren't they? Fly over. I've packed my new training dummies. Hey, Dragon Slayer, aren't you more suited to an evil being than a hero? Shut up, you devil. It is explained that, with the repeated use of poisonous herb, the training seemed to advance a lot. But you want me to swallow a whole bottle of holy potion, don't you? You're teasing me. No, I jumped the gun. No one is better suited to being a hero than you, of course. He discovered that the holy potion makes the demon lord inside him suffer a little. And that guy over there, he looks a bit familiar. I've seen him before. Lo, your back is crooked. Why can't you stand up straight? What are you doing? You're way behind the other trainees. I'll do better. Sir, wait. I know this guy. It's the free rider. Lo, wow. He looked so different from his previous life that I didn't even recognize him. As his nickname suggests, he was a gentleman mercenary who pretended to be a knight. So this is where he started? He had a very strange personality, but even though we cursed each other a lot, he saved my life several times, and vice versa. He was one of the few S-class mercenaries apart from me, but apparently he died during our fight against the Slayer King. I thought I'd only see his face again in hell. Now I really know I've gone back in time. Hey, you! Young master, what's going on? I'm talking to you. Oh yes, are you talking to me? If a superior talks to you, the first thing you should do is introduce yourself, right? Oh, of course, I'm sorry. Trainee Knight Lo. And he greets the young master Aiden. I can't concentrate properly anymore. Why does this bastard suddenly appear to pester me? You've just thought about why this guy here is bothering me, haven't you? No. How could I think of that, sir? Oh, it's so exciting to watch this asshole. It's the first time I've been so happy to have this bastard's body. No. You have to come to my training camp tonight, okay? He comes very close to Lo and whispers something in his ear. What? How do you know that? But our protagonist simply turns his back and walks away. As he walks, he thinks, if this is what fate has in store for us, then so be it. For what you did to me in my past life, my friend, I want to offer you this little gift. Later, when the full moon was in the sky, our protagonist was there at the training camp waiting for Lo to show up. Suddenly, he hears footsteps coming towards him. So you've come, Lo. How did you know that, young master? How do you know my secret? No, more importantly, is what you said true? Can you really fix my arm? In the next scene, there's a flashback to his past life in which he and Lo are drinking in a bar. I can't remember how many times I thought to myself, if only I were like everyone else. Meanwhile, the protagonist is thinking that this is the way to repay the debt he owed Lo in his past life. If my right arm was still intact, maybe I could have become a knight just like everyone else, right? Lo's nickname in his past life was the One-Armed Agile. Master, can you really fix my arm? And Lo thinks, I'm sure I've never told anyone about this, but somehow this bastard knows my secret. Even I don't know why my arm is like this. Your arm is like that because of a serious case of mana vasoconstriction syndrome. And Lo thinks this disease refers to all the deficiencies that occur in the mana channel. So that's why my arm started to get so stiff. Mana vasoconstriction syndrome is incurable, isn't it? Yes, people say it's incurable, but for me it's not. You just said there was no cure. And the protagonist thinks it's not impossible. They just don't know how to cure it at this time. About 10 years in the future, the cure will be discovered. Know that currently only I know about this cure, and I'm more than willing to treat your arm. However, yet what? Nothing comes for free in this world. Let's write a contract. A contract? What do we have in the contract? You must train with Aiden Remes every day. You, Lo, will swear to do anything Aiden orders. This is not a contract. This is slavery. That's it. You don't like it? Anyone who trusts that bastard is crazy. Ah, but I should still take the chance, shouldn't I? Anyway, I don't have much choice, so I'll take it. And the protagonist thinks, all mischievous, that to think that one day I could make you my slave. What an exciting moment. In exchange for fixing your arm, I get a free gift. And Lo think, damn, I knew it would be dangerous. As expected of the Dragon Slayer King, you should be on the side of evil. A few days later, in the small town of Maralene. Hello, Maralene. Ah, young master, are you sure this is the place? No matter how much I think about it, this place is a bit suspicious. Are you doubting me, Lo? Oh, no, of course not, master. Ah, young master, we've arrived. Come on, Lo, follow me. Is there really a way to fix my arm in a place like this? And they see that the protagonist is taking Lo to a half-finished place with a sign that reads drugstore. It's not a clinic, so stop coming here. We don't make medicines either, so they end up getting lost. That sign isn't very motivating, is it? And Aiden think this was the place Lo came in his past life to cure his illness. I'm sure there was someone here studying the cure for mana syndrome. In the end, in the past life, it didn't work because it was too late, but this time. Ah, is anyone here, master? It seems the owner isn't in the store. Ah, young master, what does this painting here represent? They see a large painting depicting the Philosopher's Stone. It represents the Philosopher's Stone, a superstition believed by all magicians and alchemists, an imaginary object that claims to interfere in the realm of God, something that can bring even the dead back to life. But given that I'm a living example of someone who can transcend the divine realms of death and time, perhaps the Philosopher's Stone really does exist. Look, my God, it's a story that not all ordinary people know. You're well informed, aren't you? I know some people who have talked about it, and the protagonist thinks he heard it from Calcis and Shora. It's been a while since we've had such an interesting guest, but what can I do for you? Did you read the sign, Lo? I want to be alone with her for a moment. Ah, of course, young master, understood. And Lo leaves the store and closes the door. Alright, Cassie, let's get straight to the point, shall we? Oh, how do you know my name? My knight is currently suffering from mana vasoconstriction syndrome, and I know very well that you are interested in this disease, alchemist of beastmen, Cassie. Oh, God, how much do you know about me, young master? Scum, who knows? Like you, my knight also suffers from this syndrome. How do you know I suffer from this disease? I know the symptoms in you are more severe than usual, and those herbs you smoke are so your condition doesn't get worse, aren't they? Aiden think Lo's condition is restricted to her arm, but Cassie's is quite different. Her illness has spread to all her organs, leaving her with a terminal illness. So it seems you know a lot about me, don't you, young master? But there's one thing you're getting wrong. It's true that I'm looking for a cure, but I haven't found the right method yet. In other words, I can't cure your pretty little knight's arm. It's a shame, isn't it? If you cure my knight's arm, I promise to protect you and support your research in our territory with all the money you need. No, young master, you haven't understood your knight's illness. Read this. Cassie places a parchment on the table. What? It's not possible. No way. Is this the cure for mana vasoconstriction syndrome? Aiden think Calcis talked about it so much that I memorized it, but I don't remember it perfectly. That's why I'm looking for Cassie, who knows how to do this process properly. So, do you still think it's impossible? Half a month. In half a month, I can give you an answer. To think that such a method exists, you really surprise me. But I know that with the resources you have, it would be very difficult to obtain the ingredient. The fact that you brought it up means that you want something in return, doesn't it? I want your ring. Boy, what's this protagonist like? Attacking and coveting a woman's ring? How rude of you. No more jokes. I know very well why you're wearing that ring, so you know how important it is to me, don't you? It is explained that this ring is the speed ring, an artifact that triples physical speed for 10 seconds 3 times a day. It's a very useful item for surprise attack and for escaping during battles. Thanks to this artifact, in his past life Lo remained as a memory and became an S-class mercenary. An artifact like this is basically his only means of defending himself against Cassie. If you move in with me, you won't need that ring anymore. I'll protect you. Oh, I don't mind, as long as I can continue with my research. But are you sure about this? Rumors will spread that you've taken in a beast woman. Don't worry, my name is already Aiden Remeth, the scum of the nobles. There's nothing that can worsen my reputation right now. You're a very interesting person, you know that? You're also going to look after my room and the food, right? Of course it will be, but you have to make sure you help me too. Back at the Duke's mansion, Aiden think, at first it was strange, but now I really feel at home. Young master. Huh, Philip, what's the matter? It's a very serious emergency. What's going on, Philip? Speak up. Young master Carl, he disappeared into Monster Mountain. Is Carl missing? A report came in about a missing person on the monstrous mountain. So young master Carl formed a team and set off 2 days ago, but he hasn't returned so far. Aiden think, even though it's called Monster Mountain, there are only insignificant monsters in that place. What about the search party? What happened to it? They'll be leaving shortly, sir. No! If that brat disappears, I'll be the Duke's heir. Then my plans for revenge will be ruined. I have to save him, no matter what. Philip, I'm going going to join the search party. So, you accommodate Cassie, okay? And, Cassie, I have a favor to ask you. Huh, what kind of favor? But what he said is not revealed. Later. Oh, you're saying you want to join the search team? Exactly, Dad. Of course not. Refuse. But why? It wasn't just Carl, but dozens of riders who disappeared at the same time. It's not a simple task, nor a simple disappearance of one person. It's very dangerous. But, Carl, he's my brother. And if something happens to him, in Aiden's head, he thinks, if anything happens to him, my plan will be ruined. Hey, Dragon Slayer, you're kinda disgusting, aren't you? Who told you to open your mouth, Demon Lord? It's okay, my son. I couldn't believe you cared so much about your brother. You can go, but be careful, my son. Aiden, Beal, I'm counting on you to look after Aiden. You're the only one I can trust. Ah, yes, sir. I'll certainly do that. When the sun is setting on the monstrous mountain, our protagonist is there with the search party. As we thought, they were first attacked by the monsters, and their tracks end in this place. That knife is a weapon used by goblins. A lot of strange things are happening here. Knife being overrun by goblins, and goblins, who are such dumb beings, erasing their track. There's only one explanation for all this. There's certainly a hobgoblin. This place, only a hobgoblin possesses such intelligence and strength. If it's them, it's possible, Mr. Spiel. This is hobgoblin stuff, for sure. Hobgoblins, they're difficult to deal with. We should prepare and then go back. No, of course not. Every second we lose here is crucial. They could be being prepared, cooked, and eaten there in that camp. Bring a search dog now. We've already sent out a search dog, but their scent has been completely erased. Stop talking and get a dog now. Good boy, good boy. He takes a potion and pours it over the dog. Good boy, take it all. What's that bastard doing with our search dog? But it seems that with this potion, he's really starting to smell more. What happened to him? Did he manage to find anything? This is a potion that improves the sense of smell. I'm glad I asked Cassie for it. And they continue their search, now with the help of the search dog. So much time passed that, by the time they reached the camp, it was already night. Here is the goblin village. There, young master, Master Carl, and all the other kidnapped knights. The relief that they're alive it's a relief. We seem to have arrived in time, but there's something wrong. Aren't there 3 hobgoblins in the same place? How can there be 3 leaders in the same village? Things have become much more terrible than we expected. Everyone be prepared to give it your all. Our opponents are hobgoblins, who are competitive even for decent knights. Young master, during the fight, please rescue the hostages and escape with them. Alright, I'll do it. Aiden thinks, it's unbelievable. 3 hobgoblins in the same village? Even with so many knights here, can they handle it without me? Search party, move in. We're going to rescue young Master Carl. And the goblins and hobgoblins are already in alarm, ready to start the fight. How dare you kidnap our young Master Carl? Let's finish you off. A general war breaks out between the knights and the goblins. Knight, you've come to rescue us. Ah, at last. Meanwhile, Aiden is there doing a forced lockpick, i.e. breaking the lock. Is everyone alright here? Young Master Aiden. Ah, it's you, Aiden. And Aiden releases all the hostages. Knight, go and support the search party. Clear a path for the hostages to pass. I think it's time for me to go into hiding now. Aiden, watch out for that monster. You mean the hobgoblin? No, Aiden, behind you. Huh, behind me? He sees a huge beast coming at him. The impact is powerful, but Aiden manages to dodge it. Shit, so the reason there are 3 hobgoblins here is because a creature superior to them was here. The worst monster of all, a demon in human form, a troll. Carl, take the villagers and run now. Aiden, that's a troll. You're going to die. I know you're a troll, but I'm not going to die. I'm your big brother, you little brat. Although Aiden said it just to sound cool, he's not afraid and goes up to the troll. The troll tries to punch him, but only hits the ground, while Aiden moves fluidly, cutting the troll's arm and stopping behind him. The troll falls to his knees with a wound on his thigh, but it begins to regenerate completely. As you'd expect from a troll, he's incredibly tough. With my current strength, I can't kill him, well, at least not in the conventional way. As the troll charges forward, very angry, Aiden seems to be holding something in his right hand, while continuing to exchange blows with the troll. The other knights realize that there was a troll in the battle. Young master, let me handle this. The hobgoblins are tough enough, but a troll is here too. Ah, young Master Aiden, please wait a little longer. But the troll didn't seem to want to wait long and launched another punch. Aiden manages to dodge beautifully. I took the speed ring just in case, but now it's time to use it. Activate the speed ring. The system warns him that the speed ring has been activated and that he has 10 seconds left to use it. I haven't yet reached this stage of strength in this lifetime, but with this ring, it's possible. Aiden's speed increases so much that he manages to disappear from the troll's sight, reappearing to slash its wrist. Not only that, but he performs a whirlwind of cuts around the troll. This is the next stage I must overcome. The troll roared in pain, and when there was only a second left for the ring's effect to wear off, Aiden concentrated his energy and, with one swift movement, decapitated the troll with his aura sword. We have to help the young master. What? Blue energy? Don't tell me it's a sword aura. The knights realize that Aiden is up high, but he's he's unconscious. Young Master Aiden. He falls into one of the nearby trees. Oh, my whole body hurt so much. And the bird got very angry, almost destroying its nest. I barely used my sword for 10 seconds, and my body can't move anymore. I think the next time I use this ring, I'll have to use it more carefully, but it definitely helped me. Young Master, where are you? Young Master Aiden. The next morning, I see, so many people have been hurt. Make sure that the bereaved families and the victims receive compensation in the best possible way. As ordered, sir. But is it true that Aiden defeated that troll? Yes, sir. Along with the knight, I witnessed it. Aiden not only used the sword aura, but also defeated a troll. That really is the son I know. That night, the protagonist was meditating in his room. Even if it was only for a moment, using the sword aura, I feel that my ability has increased a lot. Still, this incident has certainly made me realize that I'm still pretty weak. If I want to crush those suckers, I need to get even stronger. Ah, your determination really impressed me. Where did you come from? Wait, that voice. Have you finally realized? Yes, it's me, the monarch of the underworld kingdom, the lord of hell. No! Get away from me. This is all your fault because you're still a wimp. Ouch, ouch, ouch. But how are you? How did you get a physical body back? In fact, only you can see me so far because you and I are one. As you get stronger, I seem to be able to project myself onto others. Does that mean I have to keep seeing you now? Oh, I don't like that. It's very rude to say that to the person who saved you. No, wait a minute, Lord of the Underworld. You said you have the curse passed down from the demon god, right? And you said you're free of that bond now. So what's your original name? Ah, my name was lost a long time ago. I simply exist now. Okay, so from today on, your name will be Cursed. Cursed, because you are literally a curse placed on me. Not a very silly name, is it, Dragon Slayer? Shut your mouth, you cursed creature. I mean, cursed. Well, I'm going to confuse myself from now on. Really, you're not going to change, are you? Well, I don't really care about that. Yeah, that's bad. Damn it. Sorry about that. You're doing it on purpose, aren't you? A week later, the protagonist is at the mansion and knock on one of the doors. What's up, Cassie? Is the treatment going well? Look, Mr. Troll has come to visit me. He thinks, oh, everyone's calling me master of the trolls now, just because I killed one of them. I don't like being called a troll. Why don't they call me Troll Killer? Yeah, where's Lo? The cuddly knight is there. Aiden enters and asks, hey, Lo, how are you? Young master, my arm. It's moving. It's back to normal. At that moment, Lo kneels down in front of the protagonist. Thank you, young master. Thank you for recognizing and taking care of my condition. Although I am only a humble knight trainee, I will dedicate my life to you. Our protagonist smiled. As of today, you're my slave. I mean, I happily accept your promise. Oh, by the way, Cassie, why haven't you had the treatment on yourself yet? My syndrome is a bit unusual, you know. I need a bit more treatment, maybe a month. Still, you've done a great job. Of course not. That's all thanks to you, Mr. Troll. Mr. Troll? Stop laughing. Kid, now that you've recovered, get out of here. We have work to finish. Yes, sir. Any task you give me. Later that day, Lo seems to regret having said that. The first task after getting my arm back is physical labor. Okay, please save me. After that, we see that our protagonist has left Lo completely exhausted and destroyed. Ah, welcome, young master. So, this is the troll that everyone said the master captured. Wow, in this condition, it's going to sell for a very high price. Trolls are very rare materials. I'd like to use the proceeds from the sale of this troll here to buy these herbs. Is that possible? Of course. Our merchant group has everything. Ah, young master, they're not herb, but poisonous plant. If I say they're herb, they're herb. So tell me, can you get them for me or not? Yes, of course. Herb, the merchant thinks, if I get on the bad side of this scoundrel here, who knows what might happen to me. And the protagonist thinks, easy money is always good. You still seem to have the beggar's habits from your mercenary days, don't you? Shut up, you dirty devil. Young master. Ah, Philip, what's the matter? The Duke is looking for you. Ah, my father. He knocks on the door of the room where his father is and hears some noises in the background. Hello, Dad, did you call for me? But he's shocked by what he sees inside. Ah, Aiden, you're here. So that's Aiden? Why is this guy here? From the look of your body, the rumors that you killed a troll were not unfounded. It's a pleasure to meet you. Aiden remembers his past life, where he already knew this man. You stink like a brat. You were brought up by the boss of those tramp, weren't you? He thinks, yeah, I don't have any pleasant memories of that guy. Do you know him? A little. He was the older man who despised mercenaries. Pleased to meet you. I am Aiden Remes. Greetings to the protector of the northeast frontier, Margrave Turizidas. So you know me? Of course. After all, Margrave Turizidas is one of the few in the Empire who has reached the stage of Master of the Sword. It is explained that Master of the Sword is a transcendental stage that every knight dreams of. Those who have leapt beyond the limits of geniuses and entered the realm of the superhuman. Their swords can cut through mountains and their breath can make the air tremble. I was one of them in the past, and that's the stage I need to reach again. Well, contrary to rumors, you're well educated. Even you have a great son, Fred. That child still has a lot to learn. By the way, are you sure about leaving the territory, brother? I heard that your territory was a attacked by a horde of orcs some time ago. Actually, it wasn't just my territory. They said that suspicious movements were also detected at the Tower of Carnage, run by the Cult of Carnage. And the protagonist think Cult of Carnage, right? I've got some business to take care of there too. Damn traitor, just wait. Your time will come. First the Tower of Carnage, then Cetus, and now even here in Remes territory. Unusual monster movements have occurred in 3 different places in such a short period. Do you think it's a coincidence? Now that you mention it, it does seem strange. That's why we were thinking of forming an investigation team. Do you want to lend your support? Oh, yes, of course, brother. And one more thing. Hey, brat, would you like to join my Order of Knights? Brother Turried, the protagonist think, why did he create an Order of Knights out of nothing? I've heard a lot about you. You reached the Sword Aura stage in less than half a year of wielding a sword. At first, I thought it was absurd, but having seen you in person, I can say, I will make you the best swordsman in the West. I promise on my own behalf. But, brother, Aiden, he's still. Don't worry, Fred. I'll take good care of him, but it's still his choice. I appreciate the offer, but I have to decline. Do you understand what it means to join the Order of the Knights of Cetus? Of course I know. It's one of the most renowned knightly orders in the Empire, but I'm confident that I can become a master of the sword on my own. And the protagonist think, I've already passed this stage on my own in the past, so I'll reach it again. It's only a matter of time. And right now, even if I fought you, Margrave, I could at least scratch you. Obviously, Margrave Turried Cetus is very frustrated by this affront from the protagonist. Could you scratch me? What audacity. Suddenly, everything starts to shake, even the teacup. That, by great pressure, is in this room now, and that's his aura. Do you think it's funny? The protagonist think, fear of the master. The ability to make even the air tremble simply by releasing killing intent, as expected of a master of the sword. I can't believe he's resisting my fear of the master. Are you sure you can keep your word? Of course. Shall we make a bet? A bet? He's always had a thing for bet. If I don't manage to scratch you one, I'll join your knightly order. But if I succeed, you'll give me that sword of yours. Are you sure? That sword? How audacious to think that you covet my family heirloom. Fred, he's completely different from you. Oh, actually, never mind. You've already fainted, haven't you? It was unintentional. I think it was my aura that did it, right? I'll take your bet, then. That's what you were aiming for from the start, isn't it? Exactly. When the first opportunity arose, I grabbed it. I really want that sword, one of the legendary swords. Bebu, you really belong on our side. Later that day, where the challenge and the bet would take place, are you planning to use a sword to kill ogres? To hunt a goblin? I'm still not sure if you're a goblin or an ogre, but regardless of the opponent, a knight should give his best in a duel. The protagonist think, that damn knightly courtesy, the thing that never changes, past or present. Firstly, it's forbidden to use a blade aura, and secondly, Margrave Cetus can't move his right foot. This may seem unfair, but for a master of the sword, it's not even a handicap. If I attack without thinking, I'll be knocked out on the spot. It looks like we've got a big audience, doesn't it? Let's get started. The pleasure is all mine. Our protagonist advances towards him very quickly, and obviously, Margrave Turried Cetus is impressed, but easily with Bebu, he manages to fend off the attack, aiming for the neck from the start. Aren't you? Looks like you're used to real combat. I knew you'd block it, obviously. He continues with a sequence of very fast attack, but Margrave Turried Cetus manages to fend them all off. That's not refined at all. You look like one of those disorganized mercenaries. You'll have to improve that when you join our Order of Knights. Now I can see what kind of relationship you two had in your past life. What did you say about mercenaries? Now that old man has really crossed the line. Let's see how you deal with this clumsy mercenary then. So, everyone, we've come to the end of another video. If you enjoyed it as much as I did, don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, and, of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any new content, and activate the bell to receive first-hand notifications. Remember that members watch the videos unannounced and have early access to the videos. Until the next video, and thanks.
Kim Jin-woo wasn't going to lose to a single blow. However, he was shocked when the attack took a completely disconnected turn. The protagonist, Aiden, using the skills of the mercenary King's Grima, discovered the knight's technique. Ah, damn, what's that? Kim Jin-woo had to rush to dodge the blow, otherwise he would be hit. Aiden was happy to use the skills from his past life, while the guards were completely impressed. Now it was Aiden who was leading, and everyone began to believe the rumor that he had killed a troll, something they hadn't fully believed before. Aiden's father thought, even though he's tired and taking a big penalty, he's a master swordsman. It's reasonable to say that my son is defending himself well against Kim Jin-woo. Kim Jin-woo, who was confident that he had escaped the attack, became desperate again when he realized that Aiden's fencing was very strange. He thought, chaotic, but he's hitting the vital points with precision. Intriguing indeed. I want to take this guy with me now. Aiden was paying attention to the attack coming towards his face and managed to dodge it just barely. If the attack hit him, it would be the end. Aiden thought, he only swung his sword to get rid of my attack. If he'd tried to block, he'd have been shredded. After this attack, Aiden retreated a little. You're using an interesting sword technique. If that's all you've got, you can't beat me. Aiden then replied, Kim Jinwoo, I'm tired, but I'm still standing. Please continue the fight, you never disappoint me. My eyes are very sharp for people like you. I'm already welcoming you to my order of knights in advance. I thank you in advance for the sword. The two stared at each other for a brief moment until Aiden simply disappeared, moving so quickly that Kim Jinwoo was startled. He can move that fast? It didn't look like it before. So you were hiding your abilities. Looks like I've been tricked, thought Kim Jinwoo, as Aiden made a very quick cut on his shoulder. The cut, as well as tearing his clothes, made Kim Jinwoo bleed. Thank you, Kim Jinwoo. I'll put your sword to good use. The guards were impressed, as they couldn't even see what had happened. Everyone started celebrating, and Aiden's father was surprised. Everyone was celebrating the fact that he had finally become a dragon slayer. I wasn't bothered about wearing the ring. Bothered? Why should I be? You seem more suited to the underworld than as a hero. Oh, you're worried about that? Shall I take another holy potion so you can feel a little pain? Oh no, I think you're a hero all right. A bit of a cheat, but a hero. Oh, come on. And then Kim Jinwoo approached. As expected, you didn't let me down, luring me into complacency and hiding your abilities. You're not a weak opponent, it was just luck, sir. The demon continued. Ah, pretending to be humble? You're quite tricky, huh? Aiden looked at the wound he had made and thought, damn, I thought it would be deeper. I only made a small scratch on it. As promised, now my sword is yours. And Aiden took the sword, saying, thank you, sir. I'll take good care of it. But in his mind, he thought, at last, a real big prize. The demon said, your expressions are very coarse cheat. Oh damn, you're so noisy. That same night, in his room, Aiden was analyzing Beelzebub. Indeed, it is a legendary sword. Congratulations, Dragon Slayer. What happened to the guy who was calling me a cheat all afternoon? The demon started laughing. It's just that you don't know how to use that sword properly. Aiden stared at him. What do you mean the right way? I know the secret of legendary swords that humans don't know. Aiden was furious. What? Damn it. Tell me what this secret is. I won't tell you, unless you swear to serve me as king and never drink a holy potion again. Maybe I will, but Aiden poured his blood on the blade of the sword, and the crystal on it began to glow. A system screen appeared. You have made a blood pact. What? How do you know? Aiden, all pride, said, your subordinates used black swords, remember? Do you think I wouldn't know that? It was explained that Beelzebub is one of the 72 legendary swords. The 72 swords look like simple, sturdy blades on the surface, but they are actually created from the bodies of the lords of hell who ruled the ancient underworld. It was only revealed many years later that they were cursed swords, and each of these swords harbors the power of a different hell lord. Aiden thought, and one of the 3 conditions for awakening their hidden power is a blood pact. The demon, all sad, said, oh, it's so frustrating. I could have gotten the upper hand the first time. Serve you like a king? You're dead, demon. Get ready to drink another holy potion. No, Dragon Slayer, please don't. Meanwhile, Aiden was thinking, and the second condition for awakening the sword, but the scene cut to the next day early in the morning. Aiden's father was in his office writing some things down. Aiden was standing in front of his father, waiting to speak. So, you're saying you're going to join Kim Jinwoo's search party? Yes, Dad. Aiden, I know you're strong, but this search will be very dangerous. It's a place incomparable to Demon Mountain. It's difficult for me to grant this permission, but I'm going with Lord Kim Jinwoo, and he'll keep me safe, won't he? I agree. Don't worry, Fried. I'll guarantee your son's safety, no matter what. All right, son, but this is no picnic. I understand, Dad, but this investigation is for the security of our territory. If it's for our territory, I want to go too. Ah, Fried, come on, let the boy go. You have to support your own son, don't you? Ah, Kim, but he's my son. Meanwhile, Aiden was thinking and very happy about Kim Jinwoo saying that. Nice words, Kim Jinwoo. In my previous life, I was useless, but now I'm proving my worth. However, the demon in his head said, I think you're just doing this to awaken Beelzebub, aren't you? And Aiden replied, well, aren't I doing it right? The second condition for awakening the sword is to absorb a huge amount of life energy and defeat monsters. I can get that energy. Oh, how delightful. Wait for me, monsters. The demon then commented, this is the first time I felt sorry for monsters. Meanwhile, in the Pyron Mountains, a great tremor was taking place, and several monsters were fleeing. Even hobgoblins were running from whatever was making everything shake. In the next scene, early in the morning, Aiden and Kim Jinwoo's team were already arriving at the place. Aiden thought, this is Attila's fortress, built to keep the demonic beasts away from Pyron Mountain? Is this really what this place looks like? The facilities and the soldiers are all a mess. At this rate, I don't think those guards there will be able to kill a single goblin. How are they keeping the monsters out of here? Until someone arrived to welcome them. Hello, I'm Dasvault Taimon, the head of Attila Fortress. Welcome our distinguished guests, Master of the Sword, Margrave, and the famous Master Troll, young Master Aiden. Meanwhile, people began to gossip. Why are they calling him a troll? Maybe because he's ugly like a troll, or maybe because he redeemed himself and killed a troll. People didn't know for sure. Ah, those bastards. Lo, relax, said Aiden. The demon whispered in his ear. Ah, Dragon Slayer, how unusual of you to remain calm after hearing such gossip. I swore you were going to lose it. Aiden replied, fighting won't help anything, and I've heard it so many times that it doesn't even annoy me anymore. But gee, why is the air so fresh here? There are so many insects in this place, and they're making a lot of noise. Don't you think so, Mr. Taimon? Don't you think there are too many insects here? Oh, yes, of course. The air here on this mountain is very fresh. The guards realized that when he said insect, he was referring to them, and they all got nervous. Aiden thought, this man knows how to play dumb, doesn't he? And Dasvault Taimon continued to introduce them to Attila Fortress. There have been reports of monster attacks in every territory. Has anything happened here? There's no need for Attila Fortress to worry about monsters. Living right in front of the fortress, you're saying there's no danger here? Yes, of course, because the orcs have settled in the middle of the mountain range. Maybe it's because of the orcs that the monsters don't come down to the territory. They're afraid of the orcs. Aiden thought, what? Monsters keeping their distance from other monsters? What kind of thing is that? Until the demon warned Aiden, ah, Dragon Slayer, there's something gigantic coming your way. Giant thing? What's that? I don't see anything. Until he took a closer look and saw what it was, becoming very frightened. Viscount Taimon, monsters are approaching. We need to close the gates now. What? Monsters? Ah, young master, your jokes have gone too far. Monsters, close the gates now, Margrave, even you. What's going on? Until he began to feel a tremor. It looks like a horde of monsters, and everyone saw goblins, wolves, and hobgoblins running towards the fortress. The guards were very frightened because they had never faced anything like this. It seemed as if they had never faced real monsters. And the Count was also another good-for-nothing who didn't know what to do or how to command his own men, until Kim Jinwoo had to shout to everyone, what are you waiting for? Close the gates first. The guards began to follow Kim Jinwoo's orders and desperately closed the gates, but the monsters were already too close. Just as the gate closed, a wolf got through and charged at the first guard it saw. The poor guy was already terrified, but Aiden managed to save him. Aiden then looked at his sword, Beelzebub. I don't think this blood is enough to make a difference, but even so, the sword managed to drain the monster's blood. The guards began to comment that he was emanating an aura from his sword, and that perhaps the rumors that he had killed a troll really were true. Look, the Master Troll Slayer really is very good, isn't he? Shut up, demon. Why are you so rude to me, huh? Because you're disgusting. The guard that Aiden had saved then bowed to him and thanked him for saving his life, but Aiden was embarrassed, replying, instead of thanking me, take a sword and protect the fortress. Ah, young master, are you all right? Lo observed the situation. When he looked at the gate, Aiden saw that it was packed with monsters everywhere. Really, that's a lot of monsters. From now on, you'll be my snack of the day. What did you say, Master Beelzebub? You want to taste them too, don't you? Oh damn, what am I talking about? I guess the Dragon Slayer King can't help himself. Can he? Beelzebub? It's the sword of gluttony. It triggers those instincts in you. I enjoyed hearing your true feelings. Ah, what the hell? I'll have to be careful with that sword from now on. But since I'm here to awaken Beelzebub, I'm going to devour all this vital energy with great vigor. Aiden then said to Kim Jinwoo, I'll help you clean up the monsters a bit. Margrave, no, please, I'll take care of it. Master, please get some rest. Aiden was desperate because he really wanted to strengthen his sword, but Kim Jinwoo didn't even listen to him. He made a great leap and Aiden screamed in despair. As he jumped, Kim Jinwoo was already heading out of the fortress, carrying a very powerful attack. I think I'm going to clear it all at once, said Kim Jinwoo. The guards were impressed by Kim Jinwoo's blade aura, something that only a master swordsman can do. "Ah, Kim Jin-woo, please only half. Leave only half, for God's sake. A third will do." But Kim Jin-woo just swept through all the monsters with ease and was all excited, killing everything in his path. When all the monsters were dead, Kim Jin-woo said, "It's been so long since I used all my strength like this. It's great." Aiden thought, "Damn, why did I come here? Thanks to you too. Thanks to you, we repelled the monsters from the fortress," said Dasvalt Taimon, until the demon whispered in Aiden's ear, "Hey, Dragon Slayer, what, are you going to tease me again?" "No, what I was saying was that it wasn't a horde of monsters." "What do you mean, demon? Be more specific." "The giant thing I mentioned wasn't the horde of monsters." Aiden was shocked to hear this. If it wasn't a horde of monsters, then what was it? Suddenly, he saw a huge fireball coming towards the fortress. "Everyone, get down now." But perhaps it was too late for the warning, as the guards were taken by surprise by the fireball, a large-scale fire spell. "Are we facing a wizard?" "No, not a wizard," said the demon. "Aiden, you know what this creature is, don't you? A fire spell on Piran's mountain. It has to be that creature from my past life. Because of that thing, I barely made it back from hell in my previous life. How can I forget that damned creature? You in hell? Don't be ridiculous." Until he saw something holding a staff with rattles on the end, which made a noise. Why are they all together? And then Aiden spotted an even larger horde of monsters, much more powerful. This included at least 4 trolls, and the rest was an army made up of orcs. How did the trolls and orcs of Piran's mountain join forces? Weren't they fighting each other? Kim Jin-woo already took the lead and said, "Aiden, I'll be right back." But Aiden replied, No, it's too much for you to handle alone, Margrave." "Are you saying it's too much for me to handle? Look behind that horde." Aiden and the group spotted the creature holding that staff, and it was wearing a hood over its head. Ah, what could this creature be? A monster with magical power and strength comparable to that of a sword master? Is it an elite troll? Aiden immediately warned, "Mr. Taimon, evacuate the people from here immediately. I can buy some time, there's still a chance we can win." "Marquis, how can you deal with that creature?" "Lo, lead the soldiers and keep those creatures as far away as possible." "Yes, sir," replied Lo, running to the front line. "What are you thinking, Aiden? An elite troll alone is comparable to a sword master. You know you can't handle that, don't you?" "Yes, of course I do." The moment he created an army, it became even more difficult to defeat him. Even if you take him on alone, you won't last long. But there is a way for everyone here to survive. Since we only have a short time, I'll explain it quickly. While the guards and Lo struggled to distract the monsters, Aiden explained his plan. What you just said is ridiculous. If the Marquis leaves now, this place will be in ruins in 30 minutes. And just as he said that, another fireball hit the fortress. Aiden, did you realize how absurd your words were just now? Yes, I did. But this is the only way out and we don't have time. Trust me, just this once. Dasvalt Taimon began to remember the things Aiden had already done and said, "As expected, how can I not want you for my order of knights?" "Okay, I'll trust you, but you already know, don't you? If you're wrong, you'll have to join my order of knights." Aiden thought, as expected from someone obsessed with gambling. "Okay, we have a deal." Kim Jin-woo then leapt into the middle of the forest, and the demon spoke. "There's only one elite troll in this world. How can you be sure it's the same one you met in your past life? You know how many orcs and trolls there are, don't you? However, the only one who could subdue the orcs and command them is this creature. But that was also thanks to very strange methods." Meanwhile, the trolls were slaughtering the fortress guards, but Lo was on his way. He alone managed to behead a troll, and Aiden thought, looks like Lo's gotten strong enough to kill trolls, doesn't he? I guess the herbs I gave him really work. It seems that this peculiar method of yours really worked, but I'm sure that these trolls aren't normal trolls and can't die so easily. There's a reason why the trolls led by this troll are called the Immortal Army. Then they saw the elite troll conjuring a spell. As the guards celebrated having killed a troll, a chain of flames stuck to the neck of the decapitated troll, and the severed head simply rejoined the body. He looked much angrier than before. This damned elite troll can revive other trolls continuously. Normally, it would take an hour of a sword master's blade or an archmage spell to completely annihilate them, but I have an even better method. My little baby, you must be very hungry, aren't you? You missed your meal, but you'll have one now. I'll give you lots of trolls to eat. The demon commented, "Ah, Beelzebub, you must be having a hard time right now. Lo, until then, had been holding back part of the army by himself. After my poison, the herbs the young master gave me, I think I'm strong enough, but this is complete insanity. And I haven't even rewarded my young master for it yet, and I'm already going to die here. As the troll's punch was coming towards him, Lo thought, sorry, young master. You did a good job, Lo, said Aiden, who was standing over the head of one of the trolls with his sword ready. Aiden then plunged the sword into the troll's head. Master, be careful. Even if you decapitate him, he'll revive. All right, Beelzebub, it's mealtime. I may not have the power of a master swordsman or an archmage, but I now have the gluttony of Beelzebub. And Beelzebub began to suck all the life energy out of the troll, who fell dry on the ground. Aiden simply wiped Beelzebub, now without a drop of blood, after she had sucked out all the troll's life energy. When I do that, the target is completely obliterated. The elite troll was extremely frightened by what he had just seen. Trolls are really delicious, aren't they? Just one of them has energy and strength equivalent to dozens of wolves. Aiden glared at the rest of the army. Could it be that these orcs are just as delicious? Beelzebub, you want to try it too, don't you? Ah, the fourth troll, and it's still not enough, he said as he positioned himself over the corpse of another troll. These trolls are really full inside, aren't they? Is it their season? No matter how many I devour, I always seem to want more, don't I? Beelzebub. The other trolls, including the elite troll, were very scared and nervous about what they were seeing. The elite troll then invoked that same spell again, throwing fireballs towards Aiden, but he ran quickly, dodging them all. Looks like I made that troll pretty mad. The demon commented, instead of running like a coward, maybe you should face him properly, Dragon Slayer King? In my previous life, I would have done that, but right now, running is the only option. If he hits me with that, I'll be barbecued. And I also need to hold things together until the Marquis returns. Hey, Dragon Slayer, over you. An orc tried to hit him with an axe, but Aiden managed to dodge in time. Ah, those damn orcs are so annoying. But, Dragon Slayer, why aren't you absorbing the orcs too? They also have considerable life energy. It's because I'll have a use for them in the future. If our dear Marquis arrives at the right time, not killing the orcs will actually be much more beneficial. Until then, I just need to hold them off somehow. As Aiden said this, another fireball came towards him. Damn, fire magic again? While the troll was concentrating on the spell to hit Aiden, he managed to dodge it by jumping too high. That bastard is burning everything, friend or foe. If I didn't have the speed ring, I'd be grilled by now. But let me tell you something, can you dodge while you're in the air? How do you plan to get out of this next attack alive? Huh, what? Oh shit, you're right. I can't die in a place like this. The fireball was about to hit Aiden when the Marquis Blade Aura arrived just in time, slicing the fireball in half. You managed to hold on very well, Aiden. You really put the fire out all at once, didn't you? Aiden thought, as expected of a master swordsman. He's very fast, and to think he traveled such a long distance in such a short time. Looking at it that way, it looks like things went very well. The elite troll was wondering who that powerful man was. Who is this Marquis, and why is he so powerful? The orcs were extremely impressed by what they had just witnessed. It looks like the tables have turned, doesn't it, you filthy troll? The demon remarked, hey, you're falling. What the hell? Shit, until an orc himself jumped in to save Aiden from imminent death. Thanks, I guess. But the orcs simply ignored Aiden and walked away, leaving the other orcs emotional and nervous. The guards wondered why that orc had just saved Aiden. The orc, in his own language, apologized to his people for not being able to protect them, but said that now was the time for them to take revenge on the trolls. When the orcs went on the attack, the trolls didn't understand the situation, and the guards were even more confused by the turn of events. The demon said to Aiden, it turned out exactly as you expected, didn't it? I told you, didn't I? That's exactly why that elite troll managed to control the orcs. They used the orcs' loyalty to the tribe and the chief against themselves, taking the chief and the children hostage to control them. But what if the hostages were released? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's why I didn't kill the orcs. Meanwhile, the troll, in his language, was saying that his plan had been completely ruined. Suddenly, the Marquis appeared with his sword shrouded in aura, ready to finish off the elite troll. The Marquis thought, defending himself using fire magic, really an entity on the same level as a swordmaster, as Aiden said. If I had gone alone, I wouldn't have been able to win, but now we have the numerical advantage. Until the orc chief appeared and snatched the hand of the elite troll. And if we have another sword master on our side, it makes it much easier. The elite troll screamed in pain as his hand was ripped off. Enough of your screaming. Die quietly, said the Marquis. The elite troll, in his tongue, muttered that he couldn't die like that, in such a meaningless way, and that he would never forgive the humans for killing his parents. With that, he used his last spell, becoming extremely angry. What's happening now? This mana flow is very strange, thought Aiden. The elite troll decided to use all his remaining mana to blow up his own body and take all his enemies with him to their deaths. The Margrave realized that he wouldn't be able to stop it on his own, and not even the knights could withstand those flames. Run, everyone, he's going to explode. Oh, what are you doing, Aiden? Shouted the Marquis, seeing Aiden running towards the elite troll. Aiden, get back, you're going to die in there. But Aiden just gave a psychopathic grin, jumping with his sword raised towards the elite troll's belly. The final blow will be mine, he declared. In the last few moments, Aiden managed to drive his sword into the elite troll's belly, starting to suck out all the mana and life energy. Time for the main course, Beelzebub, said Aiden, as the power of the flames merged with Beelzebub's power. Even so, the power emanating was overwhelming, and the Marquis wondered what the hell was going on and how Aiden was resisting such an intense mana blast. Does Aiden have a plan again? Thought the Marquis. As Aiden sucked in the life energy, he realized something was wrong. This life force and mana are in much greater quantities than I expected. I don't think Beelzebub can hold it all. Just a little more, a little more. The crystal on Beelzebub's sword began to glow intensely, as if it were full of power. Damn it, I need your help. How can you use me for something like this? Huh? If you promise not to drink sacred potions for a week, I'll help you. Okay, deal done. Show up soon. The sword had already absorbed more than enough life energy. Now, the final condition for finally awakening Beelzebub is to infuse demonic energy to awaken the corrupted lord who lies dormant in the sword. I'll use a spell for that. Awaken Beelzebub, the lord of gluttony. Inside the sword, several streams of demonic energy began to merge with it. Demonic energy, it's been so long. I am the will of the Lord of Gluttony, the one who tried to devour even the heavens. Who dares to awaken me? Oh, what? Lord of Hell? Enough chat, just hand over your authority. When I regain consciousness, I'll see you. Will it work or not? Meanwhile, Aiden was thinking. The Lord of Hell defeated all the corrupted lords and became ruler of the underworld. No wonder even Beelzebub is afraid of him. You could be useful like that too, couldn't you, cursed creature? Just keep your promise. Will you, Dragon Slayer King? Of course I will. Aiden was taking the brunt of all the power being exhaled. Beelzebub, devour. Beelzebub's great mouth began to devour all the mana around it, and not only the mana, but also the elite troll was sucked into Beelzebub. Meanwhile, the others held on so as not to be swept away by the overwhelming force. Guys, hold on. Become my force. The elite troll used all his strength to resist, but after a while, all that was left was the clear blue sky. Ah, it stopped. Hey, where did that elite troll go? Ah, it's over. We're safe now, Aiden thought. So this is the true power of the authority of the Lord of Gluttony. All that life force and mana. Damn, I think I've eaten too much. The demon was ready to mock Aiden. It's your fault for trying to eat it all. I knew it would happen. No matter how strong you are, power used in excess becomes a poison. Hey, Dragon Slayer, as unfortunate as you are, you're going to have to give up some. No way. I'll absorb it all. It doesn't matter. But while Aiden was holding back the vomit, he looked down and thought, what is that? The demon replied, it's a phoenix. No wonder the elite troll was using fire magic. So this thing was consumed by the troll and went into a coma. This species is as rare as a dragon. How did it get here? Wait a minute, if I eat this, will I be able to use fire magic? Didn't you say you were about to throw up? That's true, but if I'm able to use fire magic, that's a completely different story. Watching you makes me realize how reckless human belief can be. Here I come. But suddenly, the Marquis arrived and slapped Aiden on the back, at which point he simply put it all out there, on top of the phoenix egg. Well done for being so eager. Oh, Aiden, are you all right? Calm down, isn't that a phoenix you're vomiting on? How come such a rare creature is here? Meanwhile, Aiden was thinking, after vomiting up my mana and life force, I need to eat the phoenix. But as he said this, the phoenix egg began to crack, and Aiden exclaimed, "Damn!" A small phoenix came out of the egg. It's a small phoenix, but it's still a phoenix. All the guards were amazed to see a legendary phoenix, and even the Marquis was moved by the scene. But Aiden was thinking, all because of that damned old man. I missed a once-in-a-lifetime chance to devour a phoenix. However, the phoenix simply landed on Aiden's head, leaving everyone stunned. Why is it sitting on my head? Thought Aiden. Suddenly, a great flaming aura began to travel through his body, and everyone became worried, thinking that he was being burned alive. Damn it, does the phoenix know that I tried to eat it and is trying to burn me now? Ah, but wait a minute, that fire isn't hot. The demon explained, that's a blessing from the phoenix, which gives high resistance to any kind of fire. Since she was resurrected by the mana you spewed, she probably sees you as her savior. Fire resistance, huh? That'll be very useful against that enemy. Suddenly, several of the phoenix's feathers began to fall, and it flew away. Are you okay? It was on fire just now. Oh yes, I'm perfectly fine. In fact, ever since I met you, I've been experiencing the most unbelievable things in my life, one after the other. In fact, I'm as scared as you are. It's the first time this has happened to me. But suddenly, the leader of the orcs began to approach them. Aren't you the head of the orc tribe? What are you still doing here? The orc, speaking in the language of humans, replied that he had broken his oath and had to pay the price. He simply asked for his head to be cut off, as the price for breaking an oath was death. Aiden, not understanding anything, approached the Marquis and asked, "Oath? What oath?" It was then that Aiden learned about the orc's oath. Long ago, the head of the Remes family and the orc chief fought a duel over that land. The orc chief lost the duel and swore to return to the mountains and never come down again. Since then, the orcs have settled in the mountains and protected the land. So that's why the orcs settled in the mountains, isn't it? Orcs are a race that values oaths more than their own lives, thought Aiden. My head will be enough. Please forgive my clan. I beg you. The Marquis replied, I don't need your head in particular. You can go back, go. But the orc insisted, the oath of the ancestors, I have to pay the price for breaking it. Aiden thought, oh, what a noisy orc. Do I just kill him? Ah, but still, the orcs are protecting our territory, so I have to be patient. But wait a minute. How about paying with something other than your head? The orc didn't understand anything, but the next scene was the next day, in the fortress itself. I'm not sure what I'm seeing now. Is that a compliment? Thank you very much. Then we see an orc carrying a load of stuff along with the fortress guards, and the guards are thinking, how are these orcs so strong? Humans and orcs working together. Normally it would take months, but with the help of the orcs, it's possible to finish the renovation in a week. The orcs protect their boss's life and we get free labor. It's a win-win situation, isn't it? As expected, I've never been able to understand you. It's like talking to a dragon that lived hundreds of years ago. By the way, I think we should leave the subject and move on to the subject of the Tower of Carnage. We've seen that even monsters from the Lost Lands have appeared. It's beyond our control, isn't it? I understand, said Aiden, but in thought he added, I already got what I wanted, so it's not my problem. I came here to awaken Beelzebub, and I even got a blessing from a phoenix. Now, I think I should quietly go back to my land and train some more, don't you? But when he returned to his homeland, everyone was thanking him, throwing wreaths and petals in the air, and all saying, long live the master troll. People started gossiping again, but this time in a positive way. In fact, they started talking about how he defeated the monsters with just one hand. The guy's amazing. It sounds like this praise you're getting is from a real hero, not a mercenary, right? Aiden thought, hero, huh? Anyway, I was actually planning to train in silence this time. Changing the scene, Aiden went to Cassie's lab. So, there's no way to fix it? Oh, I'm sorry, but it's not possible right now. It seems that the mana syndrome in my body was more serious than I imagined. We need a much more delicate medicine than the one we used to treat your cute knight. And how much would that medicine cost? I can pay any amount. It's not about the money. We need an alchemist skilled enough to create the high-quality elixir, and such an alchemist would probably only be found at the Imperial Court. Still, I'm grateful to you, young master. If I had stayed there, I would have died after spending my life just looking for a cure. So, is it possible if we have the alchemist? Young master, didn't you hear? The alchemist has to be. Relax, I know someone. Don't worry. Just wait here and I'll bring him back to you. Cassie began to think to herself. Suddenly, he came to me and offered to tell me how to cure mana vein syndrome, even providing funds for the research. First came doubt, then acceptance. Knowing that my body wouldn't last long, I had no choice but to accept his offer. But the third thing that came was despair. I was devastated by the fact that the method for healing my body was incredibly difficult. Until now, the humans I'd met had warm words but very cold actions. But this man I met is the opposite, cold words and very warm actions. It's been a while since my body felt such warmth. Young master, that's interesting. I'll ask you to bring me a skilled alchemist then. After all, my research is perfect. As he left her office, Aiden walked through the corridors and reflected, I'm keeping a promise. Promises are very important to mercenaries. Everyone knows that. I was already planning to visit that alchemist soon anyway. It's just that this person doesn't have much time left. 3 days later, in the city of Markel, there seemed to be a fair going on, selling fruit, wolfskins, lots of things, and Aiden was there, in disguise, thinking, the largest free trade city in the empire, Marlin, was a very lively city until recently. The demon was curious and asked, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? A vibrant city, where you could feel that everyone was working hard all the time. I'm talking about my past life, because it disappeared completely after a dragon wiped out everything around here. Do you think I'm the only one who feels a bit awkward about this situation? But then, Dragon Slayer, where is that skilled alchemist you mentioned? I'm trying to go there, but you won't stay silent. Wow, that's thick. Meanwhile, in one of the alleyways on the outskirts of the city of Marlin, in the slum area, a tough, big guy, along with several members of his gang, were surrounding a small man. They intimidated him, asking about today's production. No matter how fast I work, the least amount of time it will take is a week. Suddenly, you're asking me to make twice as many of these high-quality elixirs. The guy from the gang said it wasn't his problem and threatened that if he didn't bring the product tomorrow, he'd be in serious trouble. Fraud, extortion, threats. For those who suffer from it, we offer solutions. The short guy asked, who is this guy? He already sent one of the gang to take care of the newcomer. The henchman approached Aiden, trying to intimidate him, but Aiden simply asked, don't you know who I am? The henchman completely ignored the question and just told Aiden to get lost. Hey, mister, are you suffering from fraud, extortion, or threats? I have the solution. The bald man was furious at being ignored and prepared a punch in Aiden's direction, but Aiden smoothly blew the guy away. Obviously, everyone was impressed by this. After throwing the punch, Aiden simply said, please stand back. I can't see my client. But there was someone else hiding in the shadows who came at Aiden. It was a fat guy with a sword, but Aiden easily dodged all his attacks. He bent down, grabbed the fat guy's pants, and revealed that he was wearing teddy bear underwear. The guy was furious and called Aiden a troll head, which made Aiden very angry. Even the demon got scared of that. The fat man started bragging, saying that he was Cerberus, Markel's greatest predator, and that he was going to finish Aiden off. But Aiden summoned his sword aura and simply shattered poor Cerberus' sword. Cerberus was so shocked that he couldn't speak properly and began to stutter. But Aiden had his sword ready. You called me a troll face? I think your precious eyes need fixing. Huh? Comparing me to a troll? You're lucky I can finish you off so easily. Poor Cerberus was all banged up in front of Aiden, and the demon commented, now you've got me scared. To be honest, you're the first person I've seen use Beelzebub like that. The other henchman was terrified, asking, what's the Duke's son doing in this slum? Aiden then turned to the alchemist. So, sir, do you need my services? I offer a very reasonable price. The alchemist thought, a swordsman with an aura like that is offering me help, and for a low price? He's gonna ask for something big later, isn't he? Can I trust him? Not that I have any other choice. Please help me. Aiden began to explain that Joseph was a renowned alchemist in the underworld of Markel City, until his daughter was kidnapped by the Cerberus Guild, a criminal organization. Obviously, he had no way of fighting it, and the criminal said he would have to produce an elixir pill once a week to protect his daughter. Protect? No, not kill. Joseph was very frustrated, but he couldn't do anything about it. In my previous life, Joseph made these pills for years, but when he found out that his daughter had already died, he hired me to take revenge. Soon after that, he died too. But in this life, it's not too late. I'll give you whatever you want. Please, just save my daughter. But of course, my lord. But remember, you must keep your word and give me everything I want. The demon commented, I think Beelzebub has found the first person who has more gluttony than him. What do you mean? It's a fair deal, isn't it? Hey, you, where do you think you're going? The guy realized that, unfortunately, he had been noticed. It's you. Do you think I spared you for no reason? I have a few questions, but I doubt you'll answer them willingly. So let's get down to business. Desperate, the man said he would answer. The next scene takes place at the headquarters of the Cerberus Guild, in the office of the guild leader, who was holding 2 pills made by Joseph. This time, we should make a good profit. The guild leader, Zank, was thinking of taking one of the pills, since they were good for the body. Suddenly, someone opened the door. Who dares come into my room without knocking? Oh, look, it's you. I've brought Joseph's pills. But what happened to your face, boy? Ah, I found you. Who are you? Is it you who did this to my guild member's face? I don't know what you want, but going into a tiger's den like that, you're very stupid. Zank had something under the table and thought, I have an emergency alarm artifact. If I channel my mana into it, my men will be here soon. I don't need to worry. But after a while, nothing happened. In fact, the whole guild was silent. Damn, why hasn't anyone come so far? Did the artifact break? Aiden slowly approached him. Ah, is there someone out there? Is there an intruder? Let me guess, you're trying to talk to your guild members, aren't you? Well, I'll tell you, I arrived here a while ago, and everyone seemed to be fast asleep. But you're not gonna sleep that easily. Where's Joseph's daughter? So, you're a mercenary hired by Joseph? Don't regret it after trying to eliminate me, because I'm the strongest in the guild. Zank used his mana to wrap his fist around Aiden and took off. In the next scene, Zank was obediently opening the cell where the girl was being held. She's here. You locked up a little girl in a place like this. Really, you're shit people. But Aiden noticed that the child was not ordinary. She seemed calm, but in a few seconds she flew at the fat man, knocking him away. I'm going to kill you. Aiden thought, this girl is really good. Even though I left the guy beaten up, that's admirable. Even the demon commented, that child is using an interesting power. As she tried to hit Aiden, he dodged all her attacks. What do you mean, interesting, demon? Yes, actually, it's a power of someone I know, who is very annoying. Aiden thought, okay, that's none of my business. My goal is just to save her and get her back to Joseph. Take me back to my dad. I want to go to my father's house. Okay, let's go there. Oh, my dad. Can I go to Joseph's? I mean, your father asked me to save you. Now let's go home. Can I really go to my dad's? Of course, let's go. Until she finally gave in and hugged Aiden, starting to cry, saying how much she missed her father. Staying here must have been scary, huh? Well, you're all right now. I'm going to take you to your father. The demon commented, I didn't know you had all that sympathy. It's a child, demon. Who do you think I am? A monster? I don't know. You just look a bit different from your past life. I don't know. In the next scene, the girl was already running into her house again, and finally she and her father hugged. That scene was so cute. Please mark this moment. Send a cute, and I'll give it a heart. Joseph, the girl's father, apologized deeply to her. Aiden just stood there, proud of what he had done. When Ellis, the girl's name, which had not yet been mentioned, was put to bed, Aiden and Joseph started talking business. Thank you very, very much, but it's not over yet. Now comes the most important part, solving what my client wants. Of course, I'll compensate you for that. How much do you want? Client? How much do you think your daughter's life is worth? Well, for me, she's more precious than my own life. If it's money, I'd pay for her whole life. But if it's not that, what do you want? I have plenty of money. There's something else I want from you. I want your alchemy skills. That's exactly what I need right now. An alchemist with skills as meticulous as yours. I see. So you helped me because you knew about my alchemy skills, didn't you? But once you've received help, you must pay the price. Joseph showed Aiden the pill he was making. Yeah, that's exactly what I saw in my previous life. This is the highest quality elixir I've ever made in my life. Try it. I made it with all my skill. Oh, can I really? Of course, it's part of my payment. The demon commented, please, Dragon Slayer, that slime of yours is disgusting. You're saying that because you've never tasted this elixir. If you just drank it, and then a lot of mana began to flow through Aiden's body. As expected, high quality. This is incredible. I consumed just one elixir pill and my mana capacity doubled. It's excellent, no comparison. Oh yeah? So, in return, I'm gonna keep making elixirs for you. In fact, why don't you join our Duke's household instead? If you agree, your daughter will have the greatest protection in the entire duchy. What, Duke's house? Actually, who are you? I apologize for my late introduction. I am the eldest son of the Remes family. My name is Aiden Hees. Aiden Hees? Aren't you the troll prince? What brings a young master of the Duke's house to such a humble place? It's an urgent matter that I need your help with. If you can help me solve the problem, our Duke's house will protect your family for life. Isn't that a good offer? Oh yes, it is. But what exactly is the problem I need to solve? In the next scene, late at night, Aiden was in Kat's laboratory. This is the most serious case of mana syndrome I've ever seen. You'd have been dead a long time ago if it hadn't been for the strength of your race. Oh, of course, yes, I can make the medicine that way. The problem is the ingredients. With the money we have, we can get them, can't we? Well, those aren't just any ingredients. They really are impossible to get here. It says that mana syndrome is when the mana channels freeze, and according to this method, we need something with very strong fire attribute mana. And how do we get extreme fire attribute mana? Oh, that sort of thing can be obtained from a dragon's heart or a phoenix feather. But how can we find such legendary creatures so easily? I don't think there's any way to avoid my death, but I appreciate the help. Oh, wait a minute. Are you talking about something like this? Aiden took a phoenix feather out of his pocket. This feather here, I have one. The two of them were completely shocked, wondering how he had it. Oh, I got it from a phoenix that dropped it. Okay, let's stop fooling around. With this, it's definite. It's possible. Give me 2 days and I'll make the medicine. Kat, watching all this in the background, let out a tear until someone knocked on the door. Ah, young Master Aiden, are you there? Hi, Philip, what's the matter this time? Duke Fried is looking for you. Aiden thought, that's right, I disappeared without saying a word. In the next scene, Aiden is in Duke Fried's office. I heard you went to Markel this time, didn't you? Oh yes, I went there on business. Sorry, Dad. I should have warned you before I left. I didn't call you here to scold you. Don't worry. Ah, so why did you call me? We received an invitation to the Imperial Banquet, celebrating the Crown Prince's next birthday, and I want you to go this time. What, me at the Imperial Banquet? Isn't it Carl who usually goes to these events? It's true, but he refused to attend, saying he has to attend to his knights. Besides, there are a lot of people who want to meet you, my son. But I'm busy too. But actually, Dad, this is birthday number 450, isn't it? That's right, my son. You have to attend this banquet, no matter how much you don't like it. Okay, Dad, I'll go. I guess I have no choice, since Carl's busy, right? I'm going to this banquet, thinking of it as a public appearance, you know? I understand, my son. Make a good decision and be careful on your trip. Later, as he walked through the corridors, Aiden reflected. The demon, as usual, spoke in his ear. Ah, Dragonslayer, what reason do you have to attend the Imperial Banquet? It's just that a great event is going to take place at this year's Imperial Banquet. The Black Magicians attack on the capital, and at the center of it all is the Queen of the Black Mages, the Silver Witch. I must bring this woman to my side, that's for sure. But don't you despise black magicians? Why are you trying to ally yourself with her? Because, unlike the radical and heretical group of black magicians called Chaos, she is the leader of a very moderate faction, the Fire of Florence. Even though I broke up with her in my previous life, I want this time to be different. The scene then shows a flashback of Aiden, facing the witch surrounded by flames. Mercenary Aiden, if we had met differently, we could have become very close. Aiden thinks, it's a shame I couldn't purify that corrupted black magic, and I couldn't restore Florence's will either. In the next scene, Aiden is already on his way to the banquet. Do we really need such a large entourage just to go to the Imperial Palace for a birthday banquet? The size of the escort represents the power of the family, my lord. It's inevitable for the sake of the Duke's reputation. By the way, sir, why are we doing all this detouring with the carriage? Do you have a specific reason for passing through this village? I just wanted to take a quieter ride, Aiden replies, but in thought he adds, that's what I said, but I actually wanted to get more of Joseph's high-quality elixirs. But there's a problem. In fact, even if I wanted to make high-quality elixirs now, I can't do it. We need spirit tears, which come from tree spirits, as an ingredient. These spirits are in danger of extinction. It's hard to even find traces of them. Imagine the tears. Yeah, I've never seen an entity either. I don't know much about them, but that guy certainly does. Well, I'm going to buy a present while I'm here. You all go ahead. I need to stop by somewhere quickly. I'll go with you, young master. You're weaker than me. I'll go alone. Okay, Okay, got it. As Aiden walks through the forest, the demon says, "Are you sure there's someone to meet in the middle of this mountain? I never said it was a person. So far, I can't understand my master's thoughts." They then come to a heart-shaped rock. Somehow, that heart-shaped rock looks very artificial, comments the demon. Aiden remembers, "A gift prepared personally for a disciple who will come one day, or so my master said. He was very fond of unique things, you know? Are you saying that this strange stone is the gift for you? It looks like nothing more than an ordinary rock." But Aiden starts walking towards the rock, drawing his sword. "It's just that my master was very fond of wrapping things up. Master, I'll accept your gift this time too." With his sword aura, Aiden cuts the rock in half. "Hey, didn't you say this was your master's present?" No, this is just the wrapping paper." Even the demon is impressed. "Oh, that's a dungeon. That's the present. My master has always been a very eccentric person. Besides, this dungeon isn't just any dungeon." They see several undead walking towards them as Aiden opens the doors. "In this life here, I couldn't be more grateful for that." Soon after, a summoning creature appeared, along with an army of undead. The creature didn't look too happy. It's a lich, a foolish being created when a black mage turns into an undead. They're one of the most difficult opponents if you don't know how to deal with them. Thinking about how many problems they gave me in my past life, a foolish human entered this place without fear. I'll turn you into an undead along with those others. But Aiden, with immense speed, began to kill everyone in his path, heading straight for the lich. If you defeat the lich, the rest of the undead it summoned will disappear completely. Besides, considering how many high-level liches I've defeated in my past life, this lich here is nothing. He simply makes a slash with his sword aura at the lich's chest. To think I'm going to die without seeing the rebirth of the Black Mage Kingdom. As Aiden does this, all the undead begin to turn to ash, and a necklace that was with the lich falls to the ground. Aiden pays attention to what that pendant is, and the demon asks, "Is that the gift your master mentioned?" "Oh no, I've never actually seen this before in my life, but this pattern looks strangely familiar." "Well, I'll keep it with me for now." The demon teases, Dragon Slayer King, take everything, even the lich's bone dust." "What, collect bone dust? Hey, didn't you say you were gonna look for lich bone dust? It's something that drives the beings crazy." Aiden thinks, yeah, maybe the demon really does know that because I don't know anything about liches. "Demon, if you're saying this is a joke, just to get me to collect bone dust, relax, trust me. By the way, where exactly is this gift supposed to be? You were a bit skeptical just now, but now you're collecting the whole bone. Well, if you said it's useful, it's good to have plenty, isn't it?" Aiden goes down the stairs of the dungeon deeper and deeper. "So there was a hidden room in the dungeon all along." "Yes, this is actually another dungeon. A dungeon hidden inside a dungeon. As eccentric as my master was, he would never throw me into a dungeon with only one lich. One lich was crazy enough." They see something emanating very strong magic, and even the demon is impressed. "Is that what I think it is? You saw that in your past life too, didn't you?" "How could I forget? If it hadn't been for that, I would never have lost that fight against you." They see that the equipment appears to be a luminous shield emanating a lot of mana. "It's been a while since I've seen that, the Banshee Spirit Shield, an item imbued with the spirit of a banshee contaminated by madness. This madness used to contaminate the user too, so I had a hard time with it in my past life, but this time it'll be nothing." Aiden begins to absorb the shield's power and explains, "One of the reasons I like this shield the most is that it can be worn like a bracelet, unlike most equipment, and you can take it off when you need to, which is very practical. Maybe it's because it's a familiar item to me, but it reminds me of my past life days." Meanwhile, the bracelet begins to scream. I missed those screams. Longing, like master, like disciple. Silence, demon. Now it's time to get out of here. Suddenly, Aiden feels he's being watched and says, "I know you're watching everything. I'd like to do a deal with you. You can come to me. I'm waiting." You asshole, my dear client, it looks like you need a deal. Nice to meet you. I'm Qualo, a spirit merchant from a friendly spirit emporium. If there's anything you want, just let me know. Potions, weapons, food. There's nothing our spirit emporium doesn't have. It is explained that the spirit merchants are spirits of commerce with strong monetary desires. The spirit emporium was created when these spirit merchants came together, with the hat merchant as the central figure. Aiden reflects, normally, when someone clears a dungeon, a spirit appears to trade. The rabbit asks, "You'll want to exchange that banshee shield on your arm, won't you? I can buy it from you for a good price." "Actually, no, I don't want to sell it." "Huh? You're not selling it? So what kind of deal do you want to make?" I want to get some information. I want to know the location of the people's dwellings on this continent. So you want to buy information about people's homes? Client, information on the dwellings of the entities is very expensive. Even for a small village location with a discount, it would cost about 2,000 gold. No, for 1,000 gold. What? For 1,000 gold? The demon speaks into Aiden's ear. Are you crazy? Why are you doubling the price so suddenly? Do you owe him from your past life? I even owe him, so I'm just doing what I was taught. Oh, taught what exactly? What did they teach you? I'm scared now. The skill of milking spiritual goods that my master taught me. I milked him like that in my past life too. In this life, rabbit, let me do the same to you. Give me the location of the being's dwellings and 4,000 gold. How is it? You're not paying 4,000 gold, you want 4,000 gold? Have you completely lost your mind because of the monsters? Not at all, I'm offering an exchange. I'd like to sell what's behind me. What do you think? What? Human? How dare you? If you don't want to, fine, then I'll start destroying. Interlocutor was indignant. How dare he? He replied that if the other person didn't want it, fine. Then he would start destroying what he was offering. She asked him to make up his mind quickly, as he didn't have all day. The rabbit was extremely irritated and nervous, wondering how that human knew about the cores. Humans shouldn't know about them. If he told the others that he had bought a dungeon core with money, they would wonder what kind of insults he would receive. But if he didn't get the hat merchant back, he'd have to resign. All right, since you haven't answered anything, I'll break it down here. No, wait a minute. I'll buy from you. The interlocutor should have said that before, he thought. The curse in his mind was curious to know who would be the next person to be extorted. Those coins were certainly worth 4,000 gold. He thought it was a good deal and said goodbye to the rabbit, saying he hoped to meet him again. I hope we never meet again, thought the rabbit angrily. That insolent bastard thought he could run away from a spirit merchant. He could go to village 200. No human has ever returned from there. But he didn't even hear that, nor was he worried, and went off happily with his coins. Meanwhile, Lao was waiting for him, worried because the young master had left half a day ago and still hadn't returned. When he finally appeared, Lao exclaimed, "Ah, young master, I was worried about the delay." Young master, stop crying like that. It's bizarre. He thought to himself that he would like Lao to treat him as he had in his past life. In fact, Lao treating him so kindly was so bizarre that he couldn't even get used to it. Anyway, he said that they had had enough rest and that it was time to leave for the imperial capital. That same night, at the entrance to the Banshee Spirit Dungeon, from where he had left, a person also seemed to be there, looking for something. Oh, I finally found it. Why isn't anyone here? No, don't tell me. I seem to have arrived too late. The next morning, in the imperial capital, his carriage was approaching. He got off in his stylish Duke's son outfit. The butler welcomed him, nervous because he expected Carl to come this time, but the delinquent didn't show up. He was afraid because he knew that the young master's reputation was such that any slip-up could result in punishment. But after entering the guest room and lying down on the huge bed, he sighed with happiness. Ah, even the beds in the imperial rooms are different, aren't they? That night, he knew that the black magicians would wreak havoc in the city. Last time, many people were injured and killed. The curse in his mind provoked him, asking why he didn't warn the others, since he was known as the Dragon Slayer King. It's a good opportunity. I can't waste it so easily. So you're saying that you don't care if people die or get hurt. What do you think? That I'm you? I'll let you know that I was a hero who saved the world in a past life. Just wait, I have a plan. Later, at the ball, while everyone was greeting each other and getting to know each other, he approached, making everyone tense. Mentally, everyone called him a bastard. As he passed, people began to whisper and gossip about him, referring to him as the delinquent prince and a scoundrel who had supposedly killed a troll. However, when someone heard this, they said that he had probably stolen the achievement of someone who had actually killed a troll. The protagonist, Aiden, thought, it was like that in my past life too. People kept talking behind my back just because I was a disciple of the mercenary king. I think people are the same regardless of whether you're a noble or a mercenary. I have no business dealing with any of these people. There are only 3 people I need to see here. He soon found one of them. Ah, the taste of alcohol from the Imperial Palace really is the best. If only we could import alcohol like that to Anguis, said a man, who was soon identified as Gustav Dora, the chief magician of the city-state of magicians, Anguis. It's an honor to meet you, Master Gustav Dora, said Aiden. "Oh, you know me?" Gustav replied, surprised. "Of course I know you. Aren't you the country magician of the Magic Tower of Anguis? When it comes to longings, you're one of the best, aren't you? If you want to hear about the good side of the Magic Tower country, you've come to the wrong person. I don't have good relations with the superiors of the Magic Tower," Gustav replied dismissively. Aiden commented that he had read the book Gustav had written, The Possibilities of Magical Engineering, and found it very interesting. Gustav was shocked to hear this. "Have you read my book? Did you find it interesting?" Gustav asked, visibly impressed. Aiden continued, saying that the presentation of a new direction in magical engineering intrigued him. Gustav, moved, put his hand on Aiden's shoulder and said, "To recognize the greatness of magical engineering, unlike those boring old men from the Magic Tower, you have excellent vision, young Master Aiden. I've never seen such a useful and superior field of study." Meanwhile, Aiden thought he had fallen asleep trying to read the book and hadn't even got past the first page. Gustav then began a long monologue, enthusiastic about the subject. "Dragon Slayer, please make him shut up," thought Aiden, trying to ignore Gustav. The curse in his mind suggested that he pretend not to hear. He asked Aiden why he needed someone interested in magical engineering, to which Aiden explained that, at that time, magical engineering wasn't valued as much, but in the future it would be indispensable. As Gustav continued to speak, Aiden reflected and tried to communicate with the curse, while his ears seemed to bleed from listening so much. "So this Gustav guy must be quite a famous person in the future, right?" asked the curse. "Yes, he's quite famous. He caused a huge incident, unprecedented in history, and his nickname became Magic Tower Terrorist," replied Aiden. "Terrorist? Isn't he famous for magical engineering? Probably in the future, he will cause an accident during an experiment, have his mana sealed and be expelled from the Magic Tower. But after having his mana sealed, he will attack the Magic Tower with the magically engineered weapons he developed on his own, and thus completely annihilate the entire Magic Tower country." Of course, he was stopped eventually because the country of the Magic Tower had Aiden remiss. Anyway, thanks to this incident, magical engineering gained a lot of recognition. Strange, isn't it? As they talked, there seemed to be one person who wasn't very happy about it. Gustav continued, saying that this was the first time he'd had such an in-depth conversation about magical engineering, asking if he'd said too much. "Not at all, sir. It was a great conversation, and it also broadened my horizons a lot. I'd like to have an even more in-depth conversation the next time we meet," replied Aiden. "Aiden Remes," said Gustav, catching his eye. Aiden looked up, vaguely recognizing Gustav's face. "Wait, is he talking to me? That face looks familiar, but I can't remember it very well," thought Aiden. Gustav, however, confronted him. "You thief who dared to steal the Cetus family's inheritance. I'll never forgive you." Aiden was confused and thought, "Who are you?" Gustav then confronted him directly, saying, "Sir Aiden, did you have any problems with Master Tyan?" "Actually, it's not the first time I've seen him," thought Aiden, beginning to understand. "Wait a minute," he mentioned Cetus. "Now I understand why his face is so familiar. He's Thierry's son." He realized that the young man in front of him was Tyan, the son of Thierry Cetus. "Hello, young Tyan. It's a pleasure to meet you. I was wondering who you were before I got a good look at your face, but I saw that you looked like your father." "Shut your mouth, you fraud. How dare you deceive my father and steal our family's inheritance?" shouted Tyan. Upon hearing this, everyone around began to gossip, saying that Aiden had stolen the sword, which was the Cetus inheritance, and obviously began to doubt Aiden's recent achievements. "Ah, there must be some mistake. I won that in a very fair bet," said Aiden, trying to stay calm. "A fair bet? I've heard a lot about you acting badly lately, but do you expect me to believe that someone like you could withstand my father's sword and win a bet?" sneered Tyan. Aiden was irritated to hear the phrase, "someone like you." "I think you're going too far, young master," he said, controlling his anger. The curse inside him was surprised. "That's amazing. Do you know what patience means? Are you saying you should hit him here and now? Going too far? So why don't you prove to me that you're not a fraud? If you beat me in a duel, I'll kneel down and apologize. But if you lose, return the inheritance and kneel down to apologize," Tyan challenged. Aiden thought, why does he seem to be getting rougher and rougher? Anyway, he's just as stubborn as his father. "Ah yes, of course, a duel at the Crown Prince's birthday banquet. If the prince hears about it," Aiden began. "What fun! A duel at my birthday party," announced a voice surprising them both. It was the Crown Prince, Mars, also known as the Little Sun. Everyone immediately bowed to the Crown Prince, who walked through the hall. Greetings to the little son of the Empire, they said in unison. I heard you talking. There's no need to apologize. Raise your heads. Anyway, young Master Tyan, young Master Aiden, would you like to duel? I allow it, said the prince with a smile. Oh, what? Tyan exclaimed. Young Master Tyan is known for his exceptional martial skills, and young Master Aiden has caused waves of gossip with his recent exploits, continued the prince, watching the two. Aiden thought, this guy was also quite famous in my previous life. He was considered the best candidate to become emperor, but he had one flaw. He was a battle maniac. But I can't refuse a request from the crown prince. Can I? Gladly, as you command, His Highness the Crown Prince. Tyan thought to himself, my father, who never recognized me, recognized that brat. Father, I don't know what trick he used against you, but I'm going to expose him today, claim our inheritance, and earn his recognition. While Tyan trembled with rage, Aiden watched him with contempt. He's shaking like a coward now. You've disgraced the family with your actions. Well done to you, Aiden thought, while the curse inside him also expressed concern. Dragonslayer, are you all right? Asked the curse. Your Highness, Crown Prince, I wouldn't want to fight, but how could I refuse a direct order from your majesty? Replied Aiden, still thinking. Sorry, Margrave, but I have no choice but to accept this duel with your son. I think I'll teach him some manners. Don't worry, thought Aiden, determined. The curse spoke again. My infernal lord, you really don't look well. You're fighting a child. Are you even human? In the next scene, the two were already prepared with wooden swords for the duel. Everyone stopped to watch, obviously. For safety's sake, the use of sword auras was forbidden. I'm looking forward to seeing what duel you show me. I promise an honorable duel, your highness. I'll prove to everyone that the rumors about the young master are all nonsense, said Tyan, teasing Aiden. Can we start now, you worm? Said Tyan, going on the attack. Meanwhile, he was thinking, this ridiculous amateur here beat my father? You'd think so. I'm sorry, Crown Prince, but I'm going to put an end to this very quickly. But to his surprise, Aiden simply slammed his sword into Tyan's forehead, knocking him out. Prince Mars was interested in Aiden's technique. Oh my god, did Tyan lose that easily? Exclaimed Mars, surprised. I was surprised that you progressed so quickly. I guess it was luck. That attack. It's hard to judge skill when someone makes a mistake on the other side, isn't it? I think we should consider this round invalid. How about that? Mars suggested. Very well, we can consider this round invalid. You two, focus more on combat, ordered Mars. At your command, your majesty, they both replied. Tyan thought, I've let my guard down, but I'm not going to lose to a ruffian and pimp like him, who can't even wield a sword properly. But what's that disgusting expression on his face? This time, I'm going all out, young Master Aiden. Aha, of course you will. You can come any time you like, Aiden replied, teasing him. Tyan was confused. What's he doing? Trying to provoke me like that? You may have beaten me the first time, but not the second. Tyan then set off in a rage, throwing several blows at Aiden. But, of course, Aiden dodged everything with ease. As you'd expect from the Marquis son, his sword is very precise and honest. However, compared to Marquis Thierry, his sword is very light. Are you saying that my technique is light? Tyan asked, irritated. Your father's sword is heavy and precise, but Tyan, your sword just now looked like you were trying to imitate your father, only you failed miserably. Imitating my father. I'll show you now the technique that defeated your father, since you were so curious. Let me show you, said Aiden, irritated. He took off quickly towards Tyan, who thought, damn, he's fast, but it's not something I can't block. Did my father lose to that here? Tyan managed to block the tip of Aiden's sword, but he didn't know about Aiden's special technique, which curved the path of the sword. With that, Aiden hit Tyan square in the face. What? I definitely blocked his attack. The curse spoke in Aiden's ear. I thought you'd go easier on him because of your ties to Thierry, but it seems you're taking this more seriously than I expected, King Dragonslayer. A stubborn knight like him, I wouldn't accept anything less than a knockout. If I don't knock him out, I bet he'll keep attacking me until he dies, thought Aiden. As Tyan fell, he reflected on his failure in the technique, but he didn't give up. I am Tyan Cetus, the eldest son and heir to the Cetus family, thought Tyan, determined to keep fighting. Aiden, however, was only using his swordsman skill, the mercenary's night break technique. He defeated Tyan in the same way he had defeated Marquis Thierry. However, before Tyan fell completely, he was held on the shoulder by a person who came to rescue him. It seems my friend caused trouble while I was away, said the newcomer. It's all right. I was just sorting it out with him anyway, replied Aiden. Aiden thought, this guy, was he with Master Tyan all this time? I don't remember this person working for him. Anyway, even in this situation, it's a pleasure to meet you, young Master Aiden. Aiden recognized that this person was extremely familiar to him. It was Dair Sias, younger brother of the Night King who had betrayed him. Dair Sias was from the Archduchy of Sias, known as the Sword Guard of the Northern Continent, a line of formidable swordsmen. Ah, I've heard that name, Sias, a few times, but Dair is the first time. Well, if you want to meet him, King Dragonslayer, maybe now isn't the best time, but a better time will come, thought the curse. Suddenly, Aiden felt a strange look coming from some of the people watching. Those who were being kind to him now were probably the same ones who had been gossiping negatively about him moments before. Someone even called him Master of the Trolls, which irritated him. Changing the scene, Aiden decided to go to the balcony outside to get rid of the crowd that was all over him. Ah, finally, they're not going to follow me here, are they, Dragonslayer? Didn't you find those nobles disgusting? I don't know, they were bad-mouthing you just a short while ago. What's there to hate about that? Humans are all the same, said the curse. That's how humans are. Damn it. They cling to you when they need you and discard you when they're no good. Don't trust me too much either, after all, I'm human. But I trust you, replied Aiden. That's unexpectedly touching and very exciting, Aiden, said the curse. But you're more like a troll than a human. I trust you 100%. Oh, you asshole. You're dead. I've still got some sacred potions for you, replied Aiden jokingly. Suddenly, a woman appeared behind him, opening the doors and said, that fencing from before, that was the Mercenary King's, wasn't it? Aiden was shocked. She had recognized the Mercenary King's fencing. More importantly, he felt a different energy emanating from her. As expected, she came. The last person I needed to meet, Aiden thought. Have you ever seen this fencing before, miss? Aiden asked, trying to remain calm. No, actually, I've only heard of it. The fencing of the Mercenary King, which makes any defense useless. If that man had been a knight, he'd certainly have a lot of honor today. Aiden thought, that man a knight? If it doesn't involve money, he doesn't care. But he only answered, no, of course he would have. Is the banquet that boring, miss? Aiden asked. I hate these formal meetings. No matter how much you change your appearance, how could I forget your presence after fighting with you hundreds of times, right? Niceta Florence? You already knew, didn't you? So let me ask you something. How did you awaken your sword? She asked. I had help from a little friend, you know? Replied Aiden, knowing that she was becoming increasingly suspicious. He knew she would come after him after seeing Beelzebub. Aiden thought, trying to be evasive. I'll ask again, said Niceta Florence, this time releasing an overwhelming presence in his direction. Aiden was shocked to feel demonic energy flowing through her body. As expected, an immense murderous aura. That demonic energy she's feeling must be the curse, right? She can feel even that, thought Aiden. Well, we can discuss that later. Although we've been at each other's throats in our past lives, let's try something different this time. I'm on your side, miss, said Aiden. On my side? You talk as if you know about me. I am the leader of the moderate faction of Black Magicians, the Fire of Florence, the Silver Witch, the last lineage of the Kingdom of Black Magicians, the Kingdom of Florence, and head of the White Moon Intelligence Organization. Is that enough? Said Niceta Florence, her murderous aura growing even stronger. Aiden felt a tremor, realizing that her aura was growing even stronger. We don't have time for this conversation. Something is going to happen soon, so I hope you'll answer my questions later, she said as a large magic circle appeared in the capital. That's undead summoning magic. I didn't expect things to escalate to this level. These guys always follow the same pattern. This magic doesn't end until the summoner is dead, does it? Said Aiden. I know you have a lot of questions about me, but how about we deal with that first? Isn't it because you're just here to catch the Chaos Group? Aiden continued. Niceta Florence was surprised. Does he even know I'm here to catch the Chaos Group? Who the hell is this guy? She thought. Okay, we'll continue our conversation later, said Niceta Florence before disappearing in front of him. I'll let Niceta choose her side now. I think I'll take care of this side here, said Aiden to himself as he watched several undead leaving the summoning circle. Inside the banquet, the guards were holding back the zombie invasion, and Tyan, of course, wasn't going to let that happen without reacting. He grabbed his sword and began to cut down the zombies. Don't be afraid, they're just weak undead, shouted Tyan, motivating the others. The curse commented, look, even the little Marquis is going into battle. Seems he also has a sword aura just like you. Take it easy, because having a sword aura definitely means you're strong. He just didn't choose the right opponent, did he? Suddenly, an undead troll appeared in front of them, and Tyan realized the danger. That's really dangerous. I need reinforcement, thought Tyan. But before he could react, Dair Sias lunged forward with his spear, piercing the troll's chest completely. This guy, Dragon Slayer, he seems to be one step away from becoming a master of the sword, said the curse. You're right, we could call this state a semester or something. Tyan is strong, but his best friend and rival, Dair, is lucky as hell, replied Aiden. And you, Dragon Slayer, aren't you going to do anything? Asked the curse. No, they can hold that part. Besides, there's something I need to confirm. Aiden concluded, focusing on his thoughts. Aiden was still thinking about something he needed to confirm when suddenly something in armor approached. Tyan sensed an extremely threatening aura. That looks like a warrior with armor and a big sword, said Tyan, watching the approaching figure. The being didn't look happy at all, and set about attacking Dair Sias, preparing an aerial attack that could split him in half. However, something blocked the attack, saving Dair. It was Aiden who used the Banshee shield to defend his ally. Finally, the one who ruined this feast appeared, the most powerful of the undead, the Death Knight. I knew there was something missing, and I hoped it was him. Not even Dair, who is a semi-master of the sword, can handle this guy. In my past life, I wondered how I lost to him, but now that I look at it, he's much more powerful than a master of the sword. What's more, he's been strengthened with dark magic to have a power beyond a half year. I wouldn't have been able to block it if it hadn't been for Banshee's shield. Now I understand why I lost that day, thought Aiden. The zombie, however, seemed to be saying something. It was calling Dair's name. What's that? Did he say that? Thought Aiden, surprised. The Death Knight then attacked Aiden, claiming that he didn't need to face the other bugs. Aiden understood. So that's it. I should have noticed this strange thing from the start. The zombies aren't attacking to kill. They're separating the other soldiers from Dair. This was all planned by the black magicians to kill Dair. Aiden concluded. As the Death Knight slammed into Aiden's shield, he was trying to withstand the impact, but it was difficult. As expected of a Death Knight at the level of a semi-master of the sword, he's forcing me backwards with his blows alone, thought Aiden. Young Master Dair, this is your time, shouted Aiden, creating a distraction so that Dair could attack with all his might. Dair used his spear, but the Death Knight defended with his sword, and Dair's weapon only caused a few scratches. He blocked my sword so easily. Judging by his magic level, he's certainly at the level of a half-elf, thought Dair, surprised. Aiden, for his part, reflected, but why, of all people here, does he specifically want to kill Dair? Who would benefit from his death? Someone who sees Dair as an obstacle can only be one person, being overshadowed by his younger brother, Dair, who is called the genius of the family despite being the eldest son, would be just an ordinary knight in the Great Duchy of Sias, where rulers are chosen on the basis of ability alone. You traitorous bastard. In my past life, he became a royal knight because of this incident. So that's why everything happened. What's more, that son of a... He was secretly in cahoots with the black magicians without my knowledge. The more I dig, the rottener this story gets, thought Aiden, furious. Young Master Aiden, how the hell are we going to deal with something like this? Dair asked. I have a way, replied Aiden. Are you saying that there is a way to deal with such a strong monster? Asked Dair. It's a tactic that can easily defeat stronger opponents. It's a tactic that I personally learned, and it's called the tactic of provocation, said Aiden. Teasing? Why is this tactic called that? Dair asked, puzzled. Ah, yes, of course, Mr. Aiden. Then let's try the tactic of provocation, shall we? Replied Dair. Dragon Slayer, why do you always have to provoke your enemies? Commented the curse. Because it means it's effective, doesn't it? And also, giving the tactic a name is much more, how can I put it, legitimate, replied Aiden. Meanwhile, the Death Knight was obsessed with killing Dair and advanced quickly. Dair tried to defend himself, but Aiden intervened with the Banshee shield. As expected, you traitor. You always find a way to betray, don't you? But here, not everything will turn out as you wish, said Aiden, facing the Death Knight. The zombie was becoming increasingly irritated, calling Aiden a bug and ordering him to get out of the way. With this gap, Dair prepared a powerful attack, but the Death Knight realized the danger and moved away. Check it out. As expected from a semester, it's amazing when he fights for real. If he'd hit the Death Knight, I'm sure he'd be in pieces by now, thought Aiden. Dair was confused, looking for where the Death Knight was, but before he could react, the Death Knight was already on him, and his attack was accurate. However, something unexpected happened. The Death Knight began to tremble. The Death Knight began to shake with rage as, once again, Aiden blocked his attack. Oh dear, defending your attacks is getting so easy, teased Aiden, with a defiant smile. The knight became even angrier at the provocation and declared that he would kill Aiden before Dair. The three then engaged in an intense exchange of blows, with Aiden fighting fearlessly. After a while, the room was destroyed, with splinters and debris scattered everywhere. The Death Knight, frustrated, was unable to kill anyone and was becoming increasingly angry. Young Master Aiden, we managed to block the attacks, but we didn't land any effective blows on him. How can we even scratch him? Dair asked, exhausted. Aiden, with his psycho grin, started laughing. Young Master Aiden, Dragon Slayer, are you all right? Asked the curse, worried. Have you been drinking? Aiden, are you possessed again? Joked the curse, trying to ease the tension. No, Master of the Underworld, it wasn't me this time. Calm down, damn it, I'm still here. Don't worry, replied Aiden. Worried? I'm not worried about you. I only said that because if you die, I die with you, retorted the curse, trying to hide his concern. Right now, you're neither blocking nor attacking, insisted the curse. Oh, don't be embarrassed. I know you care about me. And it's not that I can't attack, it's that I've chosen not to attack now. This guy can't be harmed by my power alone, which is why I'm accumulating the power of this shield here. Aiden explained. Wait, are you planning to hit him with the shield? Asked the curse. No, your idea is too simplistic. The Banshee Spirit Shield is imbued with the madness of the Banshee itself. And as I said before, the more you use the shield, the more it fills you with madness, and the user becomes stronger and stronger as they are infected by this madness. In my current state, said Aiden, as he advanced against the Death Knight, tearing into his chest with a devastating attack. Now I'm at the level of a semester. Aiden concluded. Dair was surprised. Was he hiding this strength from the start? I knew that young Master Aiden was strong, but to think that he would reach the realm of semimesters just like me? No, he's not at the level of a mere semimester. I think he's even stronger than the Death Knight, thought Dair, impressed to see the cut Aiden had managed to make in the knight's abdomen. I think the madness made me strong, but it made me miss the mark a little, joked Aiden. Dragon Slayer King, your choice of equipment with madness and Beelzebub, I don't think it's very normal, you know? Said the curse. The best items are those that have some consequences. And by the way, maybe because it's been a while, this madness is getting a bit hard to bear, so I have to end it soon, replied Aiden. The furious Death Knight was already closing in on Aiden with his giant sword, trying to wipe the Dragon Slayer out of existence. Die, insect, shouted the knight, but his attack failed. Aiden passed so quickly that no one could see him, not even the knight. You're too slow, you bastard, said Aiden, starting to chip away at the parts of the Death Knight's armor. Dair was impressed. He's faster than before. He's suddenly gotten so strong that even I can't keep up, thought Dair. Just wait a little while, Dair. I'll give you this Death Knight's body in a minute, said Aiden, as he made a flurry of attacks that the Death Knight couldn't even parry. The knight began to despair, thinking that if he died, the mission would fail. In a last-ditch effort, he lunged at Dair, who was startled by the sudden speed of the attack. Just as the Death Knight was about to cut Dair in half, Aiden realized the danger and moved quickly. But at that moment, Aiden felt the side effects of the Ring of Speed. Shit, at this rate, the plan will go according to Silbeta's wishes. Aiden thought, seeing that Dair was still in danger. Suddenly, someone came running to try and rescue Dair. It was Tyan, who was running with his sword in hand. Tyan, seeing the danger Dair was facing, decided to act. He thought, Dair is much stronger than me, and I won't be able to defeat this guy, but I can't let my friend and rival die in a place like this. At that moment, Tyan remembered Aiden's words about his sword being too light compared to his father's. I need to be heavier, and more precise, he thought. With this determination, Tyan channeled his sword aura, making it stronger and more precise. He managed to finish cutting the Death Knight in half. As the knight faded away, regretting not having completed his mission, his body crumbled to dust in front of Dair. The guards noticed that the other zombies had also begun to disappear along with the Death Knight. Everyone was amazed to see that it was Tyan who had killed the Death Knight, and the crowd began to celebrate his victory, believing that he had defeated the monster single-handedly. Even Dair congratulated Tyan. Tyan, you've finally become a semi and you've even saved my life. You really are my rival and I'll pay you back one day. But Tyan wasn't so excited because he knew that it wasn't all his fault. Even so, He shook Daeir's hand, and everyone around him celebrated, happy with their victory. Above all, we can't forget to mention an important person, can we? Young Master Aiden, where did he go? Asked someone in the crowd. Tyan thought to himself, was it really me who killed that beast? I didn't feel like hitting that creature so hard. Meanwhile, Aiden, using Beelzebub as a crutch, was shaking, recovering from the effort. Carrying out that attack wasn't good for my body, but the job is done and I'll be out of here in no time. Dragon Slayer, enjoy your victory for a while. I can't stay in that place forever, and it's also too early to feel the victory. This was just the first step, thought Aiden. As he walked away, Aiden reflected on what he had discovered, and to think that King Knight and the heroine, Bloody Silbeta, were in cahoots with the Black Magicians. Who knows what else those bastards have done behind my back in the past? The curse answered, but at least the timing was good, right? You managed to thwart the plans of the Night King, Dragon Slayer. And I told you too, said Aiden, as he remembered the scene of Niceta Florence, the Silver Witch, wiping out the group of Chaos Black Magicians. I told you, damn it, that woman Niceta was very strong. Thanks to her dealing with the Chaos group just in time, the summoning spell was broken, and the Death Knight disappeared. Could have ended much worse. Suddenly, Lao appeared, worried. Young Master, are you all right? You suddenly had a seizure. Do I look okay to you? Where were you, Lao? Sorry, young master. I was dealing with the undead, replied Lao, looking even worse than Aiden. Sorry, you did good. Let's rest, for God's sake. Yes, young master. The next morning, in the guest room, Aiden was completely exhausted, resting deeply. Fair enough, after all, he'd had an intense night. Give it back. Sorry, I rolled over yesterday. How many hours have passed? Mumbled Aiden, slowly waking up. It's okay, you can sleep a little longer if you want. No one will come into this room, no matter how much you shout. I've already put up a barrier around here, said a familiar voice. Aiden opened his eyes, realizing that Niceta Florence was in the room. He thought, I knew it would come at some point, but I didn't know it would be the very next day. How did you get in here? For God's sake, getting in here is easier than getting into a goblin's nest. Now, it's time to answer me. How do you know so much about me? Niceta asked, her voice full of authority. Aiden thought, damn, this intention to kill right after waking up isn't good for my health. If you try any tricks, I'll kill you, Niceta threatened. I just want to maintain a friendly relationship with you, Niceta. That's because we have the same goal. You, a young duke from the Empire with the same goal as mine? Niceta asked, suspicious. You don't even know what my goal is. Actually, it's because I hate dark wizards, Aiden replied, noticing that Niceta hadn't reacted. I saw that, but did you invoke magic to wipe out their race? What did you say about black magicians? It's because, in recent days, it seems that black magicians have forgotten their principles. A long time ago, someone told me and showed me that, originally, black magic was a power created to purify the lands contaminated by black mana and also to fight the monsters of the underworld. But today's black magicians are walking the wrong path. We need to correct the path of these renegade black magicians. I don't like the renegade black magicians either, especially those chaos bastards who attacked the palace yesterday. Isn't that enough for a friendly relationship? Aiden asked, waiting for Niceta's reaction. Niceta was shocked and began to reflect. An imperial nobleman who not only knows the essence of black magic, but also practices it? Is everything he said really true, or did he just study it to use in this situation? Aiden noticed his hesitation and said, well, if you want, you can have some time to think about it. In return, I'll give you some very useful information. Are you sure there's something I don't know, even though I work for an intelligence agency? Niceta asked, still suspicious. Of course, because only I know about it. It's something that will happen in the future, replied Aiden. He started to whisper something in her ear, but just then, someone opened the door. Young Master, we have a visitor. Young Master Aiden, I'd like to, said the servant, before coming across the scene of Aiden talking in Niceta's ear. Excuse me, young master, said the servant, embarrassed. No, it's not what you think. Oh, shit, young Master Tyan, let me explain, exclaimed Aiden, trying to clear up the misunderstanding. Then Aiden and Tyan started to talk a bit. Did you finish your business in the bedroom? Tyan asked, curious. Relax. It was nothing more than a chat, replied Aiden, thinking how misunderstood Tyan's expression was, as if he thought they were lovers. Huh? You expect me to believe that? A drought in the territory of Barkin, known as the Land of Plenty? This place is an agricultural territory that hasn't had a single drought since the founding of the empire, and you're saying that a drought is suddenly going to hit there? Tyan asked, skeptical. Believe me, you're going to have a drought in 3 months' time. And, more importantly, believe me quickly because I need to go and talk to Tyan. It may not matter much to you, but I don't want to get involved in another misunderstanding. Aiden insisted. You'd better not be lying. I know how to find you, said Tyan before leaving. Aiden thought, I know a drought is coming, but why was I so nervous when she said that? Anyway, when the drought really happens, Nisita will believe me. Later, Tyan returned to Aiden's room. Anyway, Tyan, what brought you here? You didn't come for a duel, did you? It's frustrating to say, but you really deserve that sword. It's like my father said. Tyan began. What's wrong with him? He actually said, oh, is that what you came to talk about? Isn't there something else too? Asked Aiden, intrigued. Yes, thank you for what you did, said Tyan, bowing his head in respect. Aiden thought, suddenly, he's bowing to me and saying thank you. Could it be the same person I met yesterday? If it hadn't been for you, I would have lost my closest friend. I'm really grateful for what you've done. Tyan continued, people are saying that I was the one who cut down the Death Knight and protected the royal family. But you've probably noticed that he disappeared before I cut him down. At that moment, I clearly saw what you told me about my sword. Aiden reflected, huh? I thought he had the same stubborn personality as his father, but it seems not. Well, your last attack certainly looked like your father's. So, young Master Aiden, I now recognize you as my rival. You're the second person I've recognized as my rival after Dair. You should be proud of that, and one day I will defeat you and reclaim the inheritance. So, don't let your guard down, huh? Said Tyan. Aiden thought, never mind what I said, he's exactly like his father. Oh yes, of course, we'll fight one day, replied Aiden. The two continued to have a pleasant conversation that beautiful day. A few days later, they were already in Remes territory. Sir, right? I know. But anyway, how are your wounds, Lao? Aiden asked, worried. Thanks to the sacred potion you gave me, young master, I'm much better. You gave me something so expensive, I'm very grateful for it, replied Lao. Just be nice to me, okay? Said Aiden, trying to defuse the situation. Yes, young master, replied Lao. Aiden thought that the imperial family had also been very generous to him for saving their lives. They had bought several presents for him and his relatives. He was also a little worried because he had bought a present for Ellis, Jose's daughter, and he didn't know if she would like it. Will she really like it? Thought Aiden, looking at the poorly wrapped package that clearly looked like a plush toy. In the city, in Remes territory, everyone was talking, long live Prince Troll, who has pulled off yet another fantastic act. Damn, these rumors spread so fast, thought Aiden, frustrated. Yeah, humans talk, don't they, Dragon Slayer? Rumors spread faster than the wind, commented the curse. As Aiden got out of the carriage and saw the warm welcome that awaited him, he thought, anyway, I'm going to keep getting nervous about these warm receptions. In my past life, I never received one of these. But what the hell is this? He came across a large statue of himself, which completely surprised him. Man, it's Dragon Slayer. That face is kind of familiar, mumbled Aiden, trying to understand. Ah, actually, young master, I didn't tell you, but ever since you killed that troll, the Duke was secretly planning it. Explained Lo. Did my father do that? Don't you think it's pretty, young master? It shows very well what your chest looks like. Look at those muscles. Continued Lo, trying to cheer Aiden up. Dragon Slayer, looking at that is making me sick. Hey, you bastard, don't throw up in me, shouted the curse, jokingly. Calm down. I'm coming, young master, replied Aiden, before heading off to his father's residence in Remes territory. Lo, I'm gonna stop by and talk to my dad. Go and distribute the presents to the employees and relatives, okay? Instructed Aiden, still trying to process what had happened. Aiden thought, doing something this big without consulting me? I need to have a word with my father. When he reached his father's office, he knocked on the door. Dad, I'm here. I've definitely seen the statue you made, said Aiden, entering the office. Ah, well, I'm sorry, Aiden, replied his father with an expression of regret. Ah, no need to apologize. It's a statue. Nice, replied Aiden, trying to be diplomatic. I've tried to stop them since you brought these people in, but I haven't succeeded. It's beyond my power, explained his father. What are you talking about, Dad? Aiden asked, worried. The father and daughter you brought that time were taken by the Inquisition. Taken by the Order of the Sacred Fire, said her father, revealing the truth. Joseph and Ellis? No, exclaimed Aiden, shocked. The Inquisitors said it was a divine order and that if I refused, our people would be in danger. So, his father began to explain. And suddenly, Joseph told me not to do it and to follow orders. Since he said it was okay, I couldn't stop them. His father concluded with regret. Aiden, furious, slammed the table. You think they've gone to their headquarters, don't you? Aiden asked. I suppose so, replied his father, worried. Aiden, son, you're not going there, are you? If you do, you'll put your whole family, all your people at risk, warned his father, distressed. Don't worry, Dad. I just want to see their faces one last time, replied Aiden, trying to stay calm. If that's the case, then be careful, said his father, worried. Aiden left the office, even more annoyed. The curse commented, Dragon Slayer, you can fake your emotions pretty well. Huh? If you'd said what you really wanted, you'd have been caught in their trap. It's not a divine order or anything. They're messing with my people without my permission. If they touched those two anyway, I'm gonna smash everything, exclaimed Aiden, determined to take action. The text then goes on to explain a little about the 3 largest sacred churches on the continent. These places represent and symbolize their respective deities, and even the empire cannot easily interfere with the clergy. The humans chosen by the gods to symbolize these orders are called saints. They serve as intermediaries who manifest the will and power of the gods on earth and are like a pillar between divinity and humanity. However, the situation of the Order of the Sacred Fire was different. Unlike the other churches, they hadn't had a saint for several decades. A religious order that lost its holy symbol was one step away from decline, and as the decades passed, the Order of the Sacred Fire lost a lot of power, currently having only a fifth of the power it once had. The coachman then said that they had finally arrived at their destination. We finally arrived, young master, said the coachman, as Aiden got out of the carriage and stretched. Lo, who was pale and in a cold sweat, got out right behind him. Back in my mercenary days, I used this kind of carriage a lot. It brings back memories, said Aiden, trying to shake off the discomfort he felt. We arrived very quickly, thanks to you, sir. Aiden thanked the coachman. Of course, using the shortcuts that only merchants know is much faster. And that's exactly why I kept in touch with the company after selling the troll, explained the coachman with a smile. Meanwhile, Lo was leaning against the carriage, taking deep breaths to try to control his stomach. Lo, are you all right? You look like you're gonna throw up everything you've eaten this month, commented Aiden, worried. Young master, please don't worry about me. I just need to rest for a while, replied Lo, trying to sound firm despite his obvious nausea. Even though it's weakened, the Order of the Sacred Fire is still one of the 3 great churches, isn't it? Added Aiden while helping Lo to balance. Yes, young master, but that trip was a bit too hectic for my liking, said Lo, trying to smile despite his discomfort. Even though it's weakened, the Order of the Sacred Fire is still one of the 3 great churches, isn't it? Still as big as ever, commented Aiden. You were right, young master, but I must warn you that the Order of the Sacred Fire is in a closed state. You won't be able to get in easily. You insisted on coming, so I brought you, but, explained Lo. They observe a commoner approaching the church doors with his seriously ill son on his lap. The man begs for healing, saying that his son is in critical condition, but the guards simply inform him that the church is closed and that they are not offering treatment at the moment. Aiden observes the situation and reflects. During this period, this is the main sanctuary. It seems that they are denying treatment to the people, and Joseph and Ellis were brought to this very sanctuary, which is closed. There must be some connection there, Aiden thought. Lo, concerned, asked, How do you plan to get in, Mr. Aiden? Aiden smiled evilly and replied, I have my own methods. The merchant who accompanied them was apprehensive, wondering what Aiden might be planning to do. A little later, at the entrance to the main sanctuary of the Order of the Sacred Fire, Aiden introduces himself. Hi, I'm Aiden Remes, from the House of Duke Remes. I have some business to take care of in there and I'd like to come in. The guard replied firmly, The sanctuary is closed by higher orders. We can't allow you in. Aiden, without losing his composure, insists, Buddy, I need to get in, and if you bar me, I'm going in anyway. Open those damn gates. When one of the guards tries to stop him by putting his hand on Aiden's shoulder, he is thrown to the ground with force. The other guard, furious at Aiden's audacity, tries to react, but is quickly knocked out by a blow to the neck. The merchant, observing the scene, was dumbfounded. A mongrel, even if domesticated, is still a mongrel, isn't it? The curse, sensing the tension, comments, Dragon Slayer, get ready. Why are you worrying about me so suddenly? Aiden asked. Because we're about to enter a church full of sacred energy. It's a very unpleasant place for us, answered the curse. Aiden opened the doors and saw a large hall where two guards were discussing whether it was time to change shifts. When they noticed Aiden's presence, they wondered, who is this guy? Aiden observed the immense interior of the sanctuary and commented, this is quite a grand interior, isn't it? Anyway, Dragon Slayer, do you know where Joseph and Ellis are? And how do you plan to find them? Asked the curse. Relax, I have a way, replied Aiden. Several guards began to gather to stop Aiden. Hey, you're not going to do what I'm thinking, are you? Asked the curse, worried. Of course not, damn it. I'm not crazy enough to take an entire religious order and turn it against me. All I need is the Bell of Lamentation, and I'm going to get it with my speed ring, said Aiden as he quickly passed the guards. Bell of Lamentation? What's that? Asked the curse. It is one of the laws of the Order of the Sacred Fire. When someone suffers a serious injustice or has an illness with no remedy, they can ring the bell, and it will find a high priest without any interference. But after a while, people started ringing for trivial reasons, so they moved the bell to the top of the building so that no one could ring it anymore. Aiden explained, but why didn't they just throw the bell away? Asked the curse. They couldn't do that because of divine law, replied Aiden, as the guards realized he was heading towards the bell and tried to stop him at all costs. Damn, it's further than I thought. I'll have to activate the ring for the third time. It's almost there. The Bell of Lamentation. I just need to ring it, thought Aiden, as a huge guard with the muscles of a maramba prepared to attack him. The impact was brutal, but Aiden managed to narrowly dodge it. Damn, that was too close. This guy is good. He managed to hit me even at that speed, thought Aiden, analyzing the guard. The guard began to make fun of Aiden, saying, you won't be able to ring the bell. Look for other methods. Do you know why? Because the Bell of Lamentation is being guarded by the greatest warrior of the Order of the Sacred Fire, Baal. Dragon Slayer, is that really a human? Asked the curse. Don't ask me. It's the first time I've seen a human look like an ogre like that, replied Aiden. Damn, if I hadn't used the 3 charges from the ring, I'd have no choice but to fight now. Aiden thought as he prepared himself. If you block my path, I'll have to cut you in half. So please, Priest Baal, get out of the way, said Aiden, trying to keep his composure. Baal, with a serious expression, replied, you're very abusive. It's absurd that I have to stop you now and teach you a lesson, said Baal, ready for battle. The giant Baal lunges at Aiden, eager for fun, and shows off his sword aura. When Baal's attack hits Aiden, he is shocked. Damn, what kind of strength is that? He has all that power without any mana in his body? In terms of sheer muscle, this guy is stronger than the Marquis. I've never seen anyone so physically strong, not even in my past life. Baal, realizing the impact of his attack, comments, now you've understood that you'll never get past me. The curse mutters, Dragon Slayers, this is common among humans. The stronger they are, the more psychopathic and crazy they become. No, you've just met the wrong people. And that includes you, you know? Replied Aiden, trying to concentrate. Compared to those others, I'm a gentleman. Aiden then grabs the Banshee's shield to defend himself. He hopes to block and counterattack, but when Baal hits the shield, it is completely smashed to pieces without Aiden having time to react. The impact throws Aiden violently against the wall, and a lot of blood flies into the air. Baal approaches, asking disdainfully, is it over? Was it that disappointing? Seeing Aiden fallen, Baal prepares to deliver the final blow, saying he's going to send him to see the gods. But out of the smoke, something flies towards Baal. It's a blade that cuts his face. Aiden had thrown Beelzebub, imbued with an aura. Baal, though wounded, laughs. Nice try, but you missed. He prepares to finish Aiden off for good, but Aiden just smiles, leaving Baal confused. Why is he smiling before he dies? Thought Baal. Just then, the sound of a bell echoes through the sanctuary. Baal realizes that Aiden hadn't missed his target. He had nailed Beelzebub to the Bell of Lamentation. The bell has already been rung. Now, bring me your most esteemed priest, said Aiden before collapsing on the floor. Baal, surprised, mutters, he won this time. Some time later, inside the main sanctuary of the Order of the Sacred Fire, Aiden wakes up feeling refreshed. Their healing techniques are really very good. The fatigue I was feeling has been completely cured. commented Aiden. The curse, however, was not satisfied. Dragon Slayer, let's get out of here. These humans are too cruel. Cruel? What are you talking about? Aiden asked. They used divine power in the treatment. I've never suffered so much in my life, complained the curse. It's your fault for staying inside my body, you asshole. Wait and see what I do to you later. Aiden replied. Just then, a man enters the room. Excuse me, I've come to check how you're feeling. Pleased to meet you, I'm Recap, Deputy High Priest of the Order of the Sacred Fire. Oh yes, of course. I'm Aiden Remes, from House Remes. Aiden replied, watching the man. The curse, recognizing Recap, commented. Dragon Slayer, you know this man well, don't you? Of course I know him. He is the successor to the office of High Priest. What's more, he was the worst High Priest ever to take over, turning the Order of the Sacred Fire into a pit of corruption. He is an extraordinary man in his abilities, but I was curious about his appearance. He seems much more decent than I imagined, replied Aiden, still suspicious. I'm sorry for causing all this chaos in your church, said Aiden, trying to be diplomatic. Don't worry, you rang the bell of lamentation, so you're our guest. And the priest Baal said he wanted to see you, replied Recap. It's a pleasure to see you again, young master, said Baal, entering the room. Ah, that ogre. Hello, Baal. Nice to see you. Of course, I'm sorry about what happened to your shield, said Aiden. Don't worry, we have several shields here in the church. Feel free to take any, replied Baal. No, it's fine. My shield regenerates, so it's fine, replied Aiden, thinking about the Banshee. Aiden reflected that the Banshee's shield had never been broken with a single attack before. Perhaps it was still regenerating from the fight against the Death Knight. He calculated that it would take 4 days for complete regeneration and decided that he would need to be careful until then. Well, in any case, I rang the bell of lamentation because I needed to find the High Priest. According to the law, you must take me to him, said Aiden. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to find him at the moment, replied Recap with an enigmatic tone. At that moment, Recap says to Aiden, the highest authority other than the High Priest will deal with you now. Aiden, surprised, thought, what? I can't meet the High Priest? There's an order saying directly that I have to meet the High Priest if I ring the bell of lamentation. Something is wrong with this place. In the next scene, as they walk down a corridor, Aiden pondered the possibility of meeting the High Priest Curdle. The curse asked if Aiden knew Curdle directly. I owe him a lot, because in my previous life he was the one who saved me. He's also a person with a mentality that's hard to understand. Aiden recalled, remembering how perplexed Curdle had looked when Aiden had thanked him for saving his life. He was only doing what was proposed by the Order of the Sacred Fire. If it had been me, I would have gotten as close to him as I could before saving him. The more I see of you, the more you resemble Talos, that monster from the underworld, commented the curse. Just wait, damn it, I'm gonna bathe you in holy potion. Aiden threatened. How can you threaten me from inside a church? Retorted the curse. Finally, they reached a large hall. Recap announced, here is the greatest authority in our order. Aiden thought, I wonder who that person is. Since the High Priest can't be here and the Deputy High Priest isn't the highest authority either, who could it be? It doesn't matter who it is. I just want to see Joseph and Ellis. When they opened the doors, Aiden was shocked to see a little girl eating a cookie. Ah, young Master Aiden, why are you here? Asked the girl, surprised. Aiden, Ellis, Joseph, what are you doing here? Aiden exclaimed. Recap then addressed Aiden with respect. Greetings to the sacred being of our order, Saint Ellis, God's representative. Aiden was stunned. What is she? Is she a saint? Later, Aiden, Joseph, and Ellis sat around a table. Aiden demanded explanations. Joseph, explain yourself now. Sure, I'll explain, but first let me reintroduce myself to you. Pleased to meet you, I'm Joseph, a trained member of the Seven Star Society, serving the Master of the Sacred Fire. Replied Joseph. Society of the Seven Stars? Thought Aiden. Joseph then continued his explanation. The Society of the Seven Stars is made up of the 7 greatest alchemists of the Order of the Sacred Fire. Curse asked in surprise, Dragon Slayer, is that really so impressive? The Order of the Sacred Fire has practically monopolized the most powerful and skilled alchemists, placing them in high positions in the clergy. Replied Aiden, still stunned. Joseph, how did you end up in a place like the one I rescued you from with your daughter Ellis? Ah, where do I start? Sighed Joseph. Every 40 years, a saint is born and promoted to his or her rightful position. The chosen saint carries out their work for 40 years, but after that time, the emblem passes to someone else. This new saint is born with a symbol called a stigma, but 10 years ago, all the candidates with the stigma were killed off one by one. During these last few years, the church has handpicked all the other babies who could have the next stigma. My daughter Ellis is one of the stigma candidates. What kind of father would I be if I let my daughter die? So we ran away. We ran away to the farthest place we could find from the church, where none of these assassins who killed the candidates could find us. But recently, something much bigger than the murder of candidates happened. Aiden thought, worried. I didn't know much about what happened in the Order of the Sacred Fire in my past life. What the hell happened there? In Duke Rimes territory, there seemed to be some priests from the Church of the Order of Fire. However, Duke Rimes guards are claiming that they cannot enter without the Duke's orders, as it is his property and they cannot enter without permission. This leaves the priests frustrated and they try to use their authority, arguing that the guards are preventing the execution of a holy church trial. They claim that, despite the nobility of the Duke's house, he has no right to obstruct the orders of the Holy Church. A priest, who is leading the way, starts an intense argument until someone comes out of the Duke's mansion, and when the guard sees who it is, he says that the person shouldn't be leaving now. The priest introduces himself. Joseph, it's me, Mr. Spell. May I have a moment to speak with him? He thinks he can't cause any more trouble for young Master Aiden. The two of them go in to talk, and the priest says that he hasn't seen Joseph for a long time. He asks how Joseph knew he was there and why he didn't come before, only now. The priest explains that he actually thought Joseph had died after running away, but realized he was wrong when he saw that no stigma bearers were born after a while. He discovered Joseph's location through the Cerberus Guild annihilation incident, which the protagonist had eliminated. So he came to take Joseph and his daughter. However, he didn't want to force the situation, as there are still people in the church who target those with the stigma, and he couldn't send his daughter to a dangerous place. The priest then mentions that there is an urgent reason to get him to church at all costs. Returning to the present, he reveals that the high priest is very ill, and that neither the sacred arts nor medical technology can cure him. The church's reputation is in decline, and, with the high priest ill, they are in a crisis. In the worst-case scenario, the sacred fire could be extinguished, leading to the church's defeat. In 4 days' time, they plan to make Ellis the new saint through the Saint Awakening ceremony. They will then use the strong holy power to heal the high priest. When the position of saint is filled, the holy fire will burn even brighter and the church will be able to regain its former status. The priest apologizes to Joseph for causing so much trouble without explaining anything. Aiden, who had been silent, seems to be very angry, but he is actually nervous about the situation. He wonders what's going on, since High Priest Curdle's illness was only supposed to occur in 3 years, and a future event has been brought forward. Aiden is beginning to wonder if he has changed the future. He is escorted out, but continues to reflect on it all. Anyway, now that he has Joseph's permission to stay, he needs to find out when the future began to change and what went wrong. The angry Dragon Slayer wonders why he has to spend more time in this terrible place. There is a reason in the past for this change, and he needs to find out quickly. Cooperate with me, he says, and soon they find the high priest staying. As I mentioned before, the visiting time is only 5 minutes. On opening the doors, the protagonist feels a terrible sensation when he sees the high priest lying in bed, with a horrible face. He thinks that the illness is worse than he imagined and remembers that the high priest died before he could pay off a debt in his past life. He planned to pay off that debt in this life, but now he sees black magic emanating from the high priest. The Dragon Slayer recognizes the evil energy as a curse and comments that it is normally impossible for a human to see a curse. But with the soul of a Hell Lord inside him, he realizes that it's easier. The curse has slowly accumulated over time, causing the high priest's body to collapse. He's so angry that he's bleeding. Curses are the domain of wizards, and the fact that it has accumulated over time suggests that the high priest is suffering from an assassination attempt by an undercover wizard. Even in his past life, it wasn't a disease. He asks if there is a way to break the curse, but the curse is already too ingrained in the high priest's body. It is impossible to break, even for the one who made it, unless there is a sorcerer who knows the structure of the curse or, as Joseph mentioned, injects a large amount of divine energy into his body. This means that the threat to the one who made the curse is high. If the high priest is healed, all efforts on the accumulated curse will be in vain. So the target of the curse is likely to be high. Aiden needs to speak to Joseph immediately and increase Ellis' security. But he hears a loud scream. It's Ellis. He runs to see what's happened. Shit, the witch has already made his move. As he gets closer, he sees a room with several guards in front of it. Ellis, are you all right? When the protagonist approaches, he thinks, looks like it wasn't an intruder. Joseph is holding Ellis in his arms, and and Aiden asks a woman nearby what happened. Nervously, she replies that she didn't do anything strange or wrong. She just blew out the candles to change them and started screaming in fright. Aiden reflects, she screamed when the candles went out. Now that I think about it, she never slept with the lights off in the mansion. It seems she hasn't gotten over the trauma of the underground prison. Aiden, can you get everyone out of the room quickly? The woman replies, oh yes, of course. Inside the room, Ellis is feeling that everything is dark and frightening, and that she doesn't want to die in that place. Ellis, no one can hurt you now, says Aiden, holding out his hand. No one will lay a finger on you, not even the Lord of the Underworld. So don't worry. Ellis, crying, begins to hug the protagonist. He is there to console her. After a while, with all the lights on and feeling better, Ellis asks, Aiden, do you have anything to say? Is it all right for me to become a saint? All the saints I've met in stories and tales were so brave and courageous. How can a coward like me become a saint? There's nothing special about me. I just want to go home and play with my friends. Then, suddenly, Aiden taps her on the forehead and says, you think too much about the little things. You don't know anything about being a saint, do you? He smiles and says, in the past, the saint and I were friends, you know? When he thinks of the word friends, he remembers that he was betrayed by the Saint of Carnage. Oh, you were friends? Asks Ellis. Yes, replies Aiden, putting his hand on her head to stroke it. Saints don't have to be brave and courageous all the time. After all, saints are still human. If you want to be brave, you can. But if you want to cry, you can too. And you can go home whenever you want. Ellis is happy to hear this, but asks, brother, what did you mean before? Were you close friends? Aiden hesitates and replies, oh, we were just friends. Ellis asks why they are no longer friends, and Aiden, after so many questions, leaves the room, exhausted. My God, that's more exhausting than a training session. Just listening to that feels like I've drunk a holy potion. He finds Joseph and says, oh yes, you can be near her now. Joseph thanks him. Thank you, young Master Aiden. I'll go then. What are you doing here anyway? Aiden replies, I heard there was a bit of a problem and that you were coping very well. You saved the saint, who is the future of our order. I've come to thank you personally. Aiden laughs nervously and says, it's nothing, it's fine. However, when the two shake hands, Aiden feels something strange. Aiden Albel? Asks Joseph, surprised. You said my full name. That's something serious, isn't it? Joseph thinks, this human is the dark magician? What? That bastard is the dark magician. Later, in the underground base of the Dark Witch of the Order of the Sacred Fire, the wizard gets angry. That damn child. I can't believe she's ruining everything. I should have finished her off. Finished the last one with that mark. A subordinate arrives and says, calm down, your holiness, calm down. How can I calm down right now? Domination had to be mine. I can't be replaced by just anyone. When will those saints come here? The subordinate replies, they say they'll be here soon, and they'll let you know when they arrive. It doesn't matter. As long as the saint is here, we can just kill her. She'll be killed by an assassin during the saint's awakening ceremony, which will take place in 2 days. And I will become the leader of the Order of the Holy Fire. While the sorcerer laughs evilly, the protagonist, in hiding, reflects, I expected to find a dark sorcerer or wizard in the order, but I didn't believe it was this guy. What's more, he has accomplices. When we shook hands, I felt the dark magic. This very powerful magic. Fucking disgusting black wizards. There must be more dark wizards than the two we saw. But something is very strange here. What could be wrong? The Dragonslayer King thinks, I can't understand why the High Priest's illness got worse so quickly compared to my past life. Could it be because I saved Ellis? First, I need to check who these saints are that he was talking about. Later, around the village, outside the Order of the Sacred Fire, a hooded man talks to someone in hiding. I'll guide you inside. The person replies, I can't believe I'm having a setback before something so important. Do you think you can handle it properly? The hooded man says, we've had to change a lot of things because of this person. Besides, no one knew that the girl with the Holy Spirit was still alive. Aiden, listening to the conversation, thinks, so that's why they brought the plan forward. By the way, that voice sounds familiar. The hooded man approaches and says, the High Priest has already occupied the position of your holiness. There will be consequences for him too. The man grabs the protagonist by the neck and threatens him, saying that if he doesn't shut up, he'll tear his limbs off. The man was already drooling and almost out of breath. He then throws the protagonist to the ground and, with the sword at his waist, warns him that he won't forgive the next mistake. The protagonist thinks he's finally going to see his face and is astonished to recognize who it is. So it was you, he thinks. Red Knight Rima Remington Dragonslayer. Any relation to that guy from my past life? I think it was that bastard, one of Sil Beteta's minions. It all makes sense now. Bloody Sil Beteta, son of a... He remembers Sil Beteta in his past life, talking to Aiden about how the black mages were messing with the world, and that Sil Beteta planned to kill them all in honor of the knights, because that was the duty of the cavalry. So this damn cavalry was rotten from the start. Today, I saw several disgusting faces, but they were the ones who helped Raisel become leader. Perhaps it's because of the right of succession for a powerful family like the SAS. They don't just rely on the military, but also on crucial support forces. And with Dayer seriously wounded at the scene of the bombing, Sil Beteta naturally aimed to secure the first line of succession. Things may have changed because I saved Dayer, but how could that son of a be such a prick? Suddenly, Aiden realizes that he has been spotted by the Red Knight. So we have a rat here, says the Red Knight, attacking the protagonist. The protagonist manages to dodge the powerful attack. How did he notice me, thinks Aiden. As the Red Knight advances, the disguised priest asks why he is making so much noise in the middle of the night. The Red Knight replies, "You're in no position to talk, since you didn't even notice the little mouse that was following you. Get out of my way." The priest gets nervous and retreats, not daring to do anything else. The Red Knight observes, "If it hadn't been for my master's orders, I would have killed you too. Now, little mouse, can you dodge my sword? You even look skilled. Who are you?" The protagonist thinks he can't challenge the Red Knight at the moment and decides to run away. However, the Red Knight doesn't let up and quickly goes after him. It's no fun when people open their mouths too much. I'm curious how long you'll last. He tries a series of attacks on the protagonist, who blocks and deflects them all. The Red Knight is thirsty for combat. I finally found a human who's more like a monster. This guy is the craziest person I've ever met. That's too bad. His sword is probably more powerful these days, and I'm weakened since my Banshee shield hasn't recovered yet. But there's always a way out. As the Red Knight continues to attack, the protagonist thinks, no, I must be imagining things. The sword technique this guy is using. Then he says, "Red Knight Benigheimer. How do you know my name?" The Red Knight reveals, "Ah, so that's it. I should have realized before since you used the same sword technique as my lord. You're one of the bastards from Dayer's faction, aren't you?" The protagonist thinks, "Oh, I've made a good excuse now. And you think you're going to get off without a scratch after messing with a black mage." The Red Knight interrupts the attack, saying, "Shut up, Spear Knight's puppy." Aiden thinks, as expected, as soon as I mentioned Dayer, he got even angrier. Brothers and close assistants are dying to kill each other, especially since the Red Knight has caused so many problems with his explosive temper. The more agitated people get, the less rational they become and the slower they understand the situation. They don't realize what's happening to their own bodies. How long do you intend to just block my attacks? You know you can't beat me, don't you? Suddenly, blood began to drip from the Red Knight's nose. Blood, suddenly like that. He refocuses on the fight, shocked by the protagonist's aura, who is already moving in to attack. The Red Knight manages to block in time, but feels the difference. What's that? What kind of trick is he using? Thinks the Red Knight. The protagonist uses the original sword technique, resonance. Each collision of swords creates a wave of mana that interrupts the opponent's mana wave. It's so subtle that it can be dismissed as a coincidence, but when it builds up, it's like a lethal poison. Anyway, he's not a conventional knight, so he'll cope, thinks the protagonist. The Red Knight, furious, says, "Do you think you can defeat me with cheap tricks like that? Stop staring at me and come at me." The protagonist replies, "I'm not really in the mood. If you want it so badly, why don't you come at me?" The Red Knight, enraged, retorts, "Damn Dayer's servant, shut up, Sil Beteta's puppy. You're a very disobedient puppy for barking in the middle of the night. How dare you speak my lord's name? Don't think I'm going to kill you quickly. I'm going to torture you. Oh my god, I'm so scared. Well, I don't think I have anything to do now. Then come on, attack me." The protagonist throws something in the Red Knight's direction, which he easily repels. But what he threw was a smoke bomb that covers a large area. Another one of those damn tricks. "Come back here, you bastard. I'll slice you to pieces." The Red Knight looks for him, but realizes that the protagonist has disappeared. Bloody bastard. Don't tell me he got away? That bastard ran away from me. Dayer's fucking dog. Aiden takes the opportunity to escape. Dragon Slayer King running away from a fight? At this point, it's impossible to beat defeat someone at the highest level of sword time, especially without my Banshee shield. The best strategy is to prevent him from following me with my resonance. Besides, it was a great idea to ask Kess to make these smoke bombs, but she always complains that I'm asking for too many strange things, and I can't let that disguised priest get away. The disguised priest tries to escape, but the protagonist manages to catch up with him and finishes him off right there. The next morning, at the secret base of the Dark Magi, the situation is chaotic. What the hell happened? The guy who went to get the knight hasn't come back yet, and neither has the knight. Have they betrayed me, or has someone else gotten to them? Whatever it is, I must stop the awakening ceremony at all costs. There is no time. There's no other way. I've thought of a perfect person to be a pawn, someone who can be suspected while the true intention remains hidden. At the entrance to the altar of the Order of the Sacred Fire, on the day of the awakening ceremony, the young saint is nervous. Oh my God, Dad, please stop crying. It's too embarrassing. Ellis, you remember what I said, don't you? Of course. Steal as many of the identities called gods that made us suffer as possible. Try as hard as you can. Ah, Lord Aiden, what are you teaching my daughter? It's a way of living without loss, I don't know. Let's get on with the ritual. Don't think about it too much, okay? Finally, the moment of awakening arrives. Joseph, who is very anxious to get in, is calmed down. Please be well and don't get sick. He's reminding me a lot of Riles. The protagonist thinks, if someone doesn't know that the awakening is happening and looks at me, they'll think I'm losing my daughter forever. Hello, Mr. Aiden. Please come with me for a moment. Oh, yes, of course. The priest takes Aiden to a corner. Is there a specific reason why you called me here, priest? It's nothing special. I just wanted to give you this. I know it's not much, but please take it. The priest opens a box with an elixir pearl, similar to the one Joseph gave the protagonist. It's one of the remaining high-grade potions. It has now become a precious item and difficult to make. If we wanted to give it to you officially, another priest would do a better job, so I've decided to give it to you secretly. That's why I asked you to meet me here. Of course, I'll take an item as precious as that. It protected the saint, the future of our order. Aiden takes the elixir and ingests it without ceremony. However, he soon feels something strange. Several veins begin to appear on his face. Stupid bastard, the priest reveals, that's a mental obedience potion with brainwashing. Now even a master swordsman can obey me. Lord Remes, this is my order to you. Yes, master. Use the back door I've prepared and eliminate the child underground before the ceremony. At the awakening ceremony, Ellis is overwhelmed by the sacred power flowing through her, like a great sacred flame. She thinks she shouldn't be afraid of this fire, but she's scared nonetheless. She remembers what Aiden said to her. Ellis, you shouldn't be afraid, because it's God who's afraid. After all the suffering you've been through, God owes you one. Get that compensation for the damage. She thinks, that's why I shouldn't be afraid. God, come on, pay your debt to me. Meanwhile, the protagonist is standing behind her, looking worried. A little later, at the entrance to the Church of the Order of the Sacred Fire, the deputy high priest is distressed. An unforeseen and impulsive intruder attacking the child who will become the next saint? It really is a perfect story. No one will know what happened. I'm finally going to become the master of this order. Suddenly, several people start running, and everyone is confused. What's going on? Priest Baal brought an army with him, someone says. What is this? So many soldiers. What's going on, Priest Baal? Doesn't Priest Baal know that the awakening ceremony is underway? How can he be so disrespectful? We know that the ceremony is underway, but I've come here to do something even more important. Among these people there are those corrupted by the darkness. That's why I, Inquisitor Baal, am here. The priest gets nervous. What? How does he know? People tense up and Joseph watches carefully. What kind of insult is that? None of us are corrupted by darkness. Who sent you here? Baal. I'm the one who called him. What's that voice? No, it can't be. Everyone is very startled to see who is behind the mask. It's Lord Curdle, the high priest. How did you break his curse? Only the power of the saint could cure him. Is there a traitor among the dark magi? Now it's over, deputy high priest. Or rather, now it's over for the dark magician, Raisel. Raisel, flustered and furious, asks, "How dare you ruin my plans? But I still have a card up my sleeve." The high priest says, "You're not completely sane yet. I've been looking after you all this time. The real dark magician is Lord Remes. I heard he was planning to kill the saint. We need to find him and stop his plan." Just then, the protagonist comes out. "Lord Remes, I can't believe you're here. What have you done with the saint?" The saint? The awakening ceremony is taking place as it should. The priest thinks, "How did he get out of my spell? How did he break the curse?" A flashback reveals the moment after Aiden's fight against the Red Knight. "I know you're there, Nisita, and I have something to talk to you about." The owl that was in the tree begins to approach the protagonist. "What happened, Aiden Remes? You've seen it all, haven't you? Chaos is our enemy. So you need my help, and I need yours too. What kind of help can you give me?" "That curse suppression thing. It's actually to save High Priest Curdle. The curse has only paralyzed his body, but he's conscious. When he wakes up, Raisel will lose everything. You can take what you need." Magic begins to emerge from the owl's feathers, and an anti-demon ring appears. "This item was made by me personally. Put it on the High Priest's finger and you're done. But be careful, the Chaos Group has already washed the minds of many people here. You may have been one of them. Don't worry about it. I already have a terrible curse inside my body. A weak curse won't do anything against me." "Dragon Slayer, you're not calling me a curse again, are you? Who else could it be? I'm not exactly enjoying this." "Oh look, there's a holy potion nearby. Perhaps someone would very much like to take it." The curse falls silent. Back in the present, the protagonist observes Raisel and says, "You seem to be in trouble now." Raisel, trembling, is in trouble. The staff are shouting at him, demanding explanations. "Raisel, you'd better stop this now. For the sake of our time together, I'll be merciful," says the protagonist. "Do you know the humiliation I went through because I wasn't chosen by the holy fire? I've dreamed of being a saint all my life. Losing the meaning of my own life was devastating. Now I'm going to turn you all into undead." Raisel summons his allies. Bale rushes to finish him off. "Do you think you can beat me? My companions, who share the dark blood, help me." Many dark mages were infiltrating the priests, and the uncorrupted priests were preparing to fight. Suddenly, they are corrupted by brainwashing magic and start attacking the other priests. Bale, furious, shouts, "So there were so many infiltrators among us. In the name of the holy fire, I will kill you all." The high priest tries to intervene. "Bale, please stop." "High priest, what is it?" "Raisel, can you get any worse? You understand things well, don't you, Curdle? I've always wanted to see you all kill each other. Then I'll take over the church. There won't be a single member left. Trying to touch me is like committing suicide. You'll never be able to do anything against me again." The protagonist is there, counting quickly, 1, 2, 3. He quickly eliminates 2 of the dark mages. "You told me that touching you was like committing suicide. Go to hell with your speech. If you want to kill everyone, go ahead. I'm not a member of the church. I only need one thing, chaos. I just want to put an end to this damned group." The priest thinks, "How does he know we're members of chaos? This guy knew everything from the beginning. Kill him now." The mind-controlled priests advanced on the protagonist. "Dragon Slayer, are you going to kill all those innocent people?" "Hey, calm down. I'm not that heartless. The chaos mages put curses on more people because they're not that powerful on their own. If we cure a few people's curse, we'll weaken that group a lot." The protagonist charges at the priests, launching 2 smoke bombs that quickly cover the field. The number of dark mages begins to fall. What the hell is going on? The number of dark mages is falling. I've put 10 years into this damned plan. I only have one option now. One last infiltrator tries to escape, but the protagonist eliminates him too. "You can pretend to be innocent all you want. I can feel your demonic energy." That leaves just 6 people, including Raisel. The number of dark mages began to dwindle rapidly. 5, 4, 3. "What's going on?" someone asks. It is then revealed that Bale is eliminating them. "Dragon Slayer, the energy isn't disappearing." "What do you mean?" Bale reveals that the energy is all gathered in one place. One of the undercover mages tries to protect himself, but his life is drained by Raisel. "Don't worry, I'll make good use of your lives. O noble of the underworld, come forth." The protagonist thinks, "Damn, noble of the underworld, that's a problem." All the priests are impressed and frightened. The high priest thinks the end of the world is near when he sees a large circle of demonic summons forming in the sky. The brainwashed priests begin to return to normal, and Bale orders everyone to regroup. Energy descends from the sky, striking like lightning and causing destruction. The young Master Aiden protects the high priest and Bale, saying, Priest Baal, evacuate with the high priest to a safe place, as far away from the church as possible. A creature emerges from the smoke. Wow, from the earthly kingdom? Such a beautiful kingdom. I'm surprised that pathetic, weak creatures can live here. The protagonist thinks. He's really summoned something unbelievable. The creature is the Los, the demon of the underworld, known for causing great destruction in the protagonist's past life. I would never have expected him to show up here. Who summoned me to this place? Asks the Los. The Los, I am your master. I summoned you, replies Raisel. I've given up half my life. Now obey me and kill them all. The Los, disinterested, cuts off Raisel's head. I thought that whoever summoned me would have a delicious soul, but you have a weak soul. I won't start my meal with your soul. The protagonist nervously reflects. The Los, the demon of the underworld who caused so much destruction in my past life. He's intelligent and must be a high-level the Los. Even sword masters find it difficult to fight him. In my past life, I could kill him in one go, but now, damn it, what's going on? Why is everyone unconscious? Someone asks. It's a special ability of his called Elusive Nelva, explains the protagonist. It traps people in a nightmare while sucking out their life force, but it didn't work on me. The curse, says the voice inside the protagonist. I know that power. Mephisto is the Los of deceit and cunning. He tricked me in my previous life, but in the end, I managed to enslave his soul. He's got the screws loose. The Los observes. Can you move in my mist? I wonder how delicious your soul is. As expected, you are a high-level the Los. Your aura is powerful. Don't be afraid, says the curse. Mephisto is not in his final form. The ceremony that dead human performed was unstable, and Mephisto is not with his original powers. Are you sure about that? Asks the protagonist. Are you telling me I can handle him? My poor, sweet prey, says the Los. You talk too much. How do you know my name? Your name is well known. You're the Lord of the Underworld's pet, aren't you? If you can't tame the Lord of the Underworld, I can give you tips. Pet stalks? Give me tips. The Los gets angry. How dare you speak to me like that? I'm the Los noble, ignorant human. The Los tries to attack Aiden with his claws, but Aiden dodges. I'm going to take your soul and torture it for eternity, tearing it apart like mine was torn apart. The protagonist reflects. What do you mean? A torn soul? Did you hide something from me? Damn it, I didn't exactly hide it, replies the curse. I just did an experiment with his soul to see if he could remain conscious while his soul was being torn apart. I wanted to know how to inflict damage on souls. I forgot who you were for a moment, says the protagonist. You're a lunatic too, aren't you? I don't think I'm as crazy as you, replies the curse. Damn, there are too many people here. We need to fight somewhere else, says the protagonist, trying to get away. The Los makes a colossal attack that Aiden desperately dodges. Aren't I still at half my powers? Asks the Los. Yes, confirms the curse, but he's still powerful. Be careful. Aiden is caught off guard by an attack from Mephisto and is thrown against a pillar, broken and injured. You survived my attack. You're not a normal human, are you? Says the Los. Damn it, I can't use Banshee's shield yet. To defeat this guy, I only have one option, but I don't like it very much. Thanks to the high-level potion that Raisel had given Aiden, his abilities had increased. I'm confused as to whether I should be grateful or not. What is this energy? The power of Beelzebub's gluttony has been increased. I can now manifest the souls that Beelzebub has devoured, transforming them into spirits. Skill, Slavery of Wrath. The Real fight begins. Dark Lord's #1 guinea pig, you son of a bitch. I'll show you the worst there is. The Los gets annoyed at being called a guinea pig and says, where am I? This is so beautiful. It's been a long time since I've seen a human. I need to go back to sleep, but I'll give you your sacred power. He reveals that he is the main god of the divine trinity of the Order of Fire, Hester. Are you a god? How dare you point a finger at me? Do you know how hard my life has been because of you? You have to pay me back. The Los is enraged. Hester replies, what an angry child. Are you asking a god to wipe out your debts? It's perfect timing, since I was bored. I'll pay my debt now and for your past life too. Past life? Asks Aiden. Yes, Hester continues. You're a child whose destiny was changed by someone who also lost their destiny. I hope your journey will be different this time. I will pray for your new destiny. Meanwhile, the troll Chiman tries to burn Mephisto, who dodges with difficulty. The troll is irritated by this. How annoying. He uses fire magic, but you're nothing compared to him. Aiden appears behind Mephisto at just the right moment. How can you be distracted by an elite troll? Guinea pig number 1? Mephisto is still in the battle, and Aiden manages to land an attack that rips off Mephisto's left arm and wing. You think you can take me on by being distracted by a troll? How dare you? My beautiful wing, I'll never forget you. Guinea pig number 1, why don't you ask the Lord of the Underworld for a new wing? Maybe he'll give you a nice fluffy one. Oh, never mind. That's not gonna happen because you're gonna die right here and now. The elite troll burns Mephisto completely. I'm sorry, damn it, but I think you're going to need a new guinea pig. Anyway, worry about yourself now, Dragon Slayer King. I know he's a high-level Veloce, but he survived that and regenerated his arm and wing. Mephisto is the toughest of them all. Fire magic doesn't work on him. Fire doesn't work, but he looked scared before. Yes, he's afraid of fire because the experiments they did on him were painful. I put him in the hottest fire in hell to see how long he could stand it. It's your fault, damn it. Mephisto comes out of the flames in one piece. Your tricks won't work on me anymore, human. Aiden, determined, says, talk about another plan now. I'm not sure I can actually defeat him, Aiden admits, but I'm not going to let him kill other people. The two engage in fierce combat, causing huge explosions in the church. After a long fight and a lot of destruction, Mephisto says, is that all you've got? You're lying there all wounded. You're more powerful than other humans, but you still can't defeat me. The same thing is happening as before. I lose my power and fall asleep. Then this will be the end of my second life. I should have done a lot more with those bastards. I have a lot of people to protect. I should have become stronger in my past life. It will be an honor to die by my own hand. I'm going to die again, so this is the end. But the last thing I saw was your face. You're stupid and arrogant, Dragon Slayer, Mephisto says. Suddenly, Hester grants Aiden a power. A system window appears, indicating that the power of the Lord of the Underworld has been released. Aiden's heart begins to beat frantically, and Mephisto senses the presence of this demonic magic. No, not at all that power. I know whose power it is. Mephisto kneels in front of Aiden. Greetings to the Lord of the Underworld. It is explained that the power of the Lord of the Underworld is absolute domination, a natural power for those chosen to rule the Underworld. All the Veloce of the Underworld are amazed by this power. Mephisto, now kneeling in front of Aiden, says, your power is stronger than I imagined. Huh? Damn, you finally recognize the respect that the Lord of the Underworld deserves. I accept that, King Dragon Slayer. Let's make him die a terrible death, says Mephisto, staring at Aiden. Ali, are you really the Lord of the Underworld? Mephisto asks. Of course I am. I couldn't feel that energy. Mephisto is terrified. I'm screwed now. A little later, at the awakening ceremony, Ellis hears a strange voice outside and asks, Aiden, what are you doing? Ah, so the awakening ceremony is over? Aiden replies, yes, I saw the face of God. That strange little uncle didn't give me anything. I just saw a bright light and was sent back. Aiden, who's that bat over there? Asks Ellis. Oh, the bat is my little pet. He's lying down because he's tired of playing. Aiden explains. The curse remembers what it was doing to poor Mephisto, forcing him to do intense physical exercise. While Aiden reflects, Ellis touches the bat, Mephisto, who begins to burn with his sacred flame. Ah, Underworld, I'm burning. Please stop, Mephisto begs. Aiden thinks, so that's the sacred flame. It looks like the awakening really happened inside it. Mephisto, now devoured by Beelzebub, is finally free. It's finally over, says Beelzebub. Aiden, exhausted, falls unconscious to the floor. A few days later, it is explained that after the incident, the Order of the Sacred Fire began to hunt down the hidden Herges. Many were captured, and the Order carried out a large-scale purge. Thanks to Ellis, who had the sacred fire within her, the witches were defeated. Aiden is in one of his famous reflections. That incident made me realize something. I'm still terribly weak. Those who betrayed me in the past would probably have defeated Mephisto easily, but I didn't even stand a chance. I need to get a lot stronger. High Priest Curdle approaches. What are you thinking so deeply, young man? Ah, hello, High Priest Curdle. What brings you here? Aiden asks. Curdle replies, I've come to thank you, Sir Aiden. Thanks to your information, we were able to clear out the Herges hidden within the Order much more quickly. I'm happy to help, Your Holiness. I have an excellent dark magic sensor, you know. I really regret saving your life, Lord Han, because of the chaos that has happened. Curdle bows to Aiden on behalf of the entire Order of the Sacred Fire. I sincerely express my gratitude to you. Without you, not only would this old man's life have been lost, but we would not have been able to recover our lost saint. This would have resulted in the downfall of the Order of the Sacred Fire. You are the Order of the Sacred Fire's greatest asset, young Master Aiden. Aiden smiles. I was just paying off my debt to your order, your holiness. Paying a debt, you say? Is a person I knew in the past. A kind person who helped me without asking for anything in return. He sounds like a very good priest, the one you described, says Curdle. Aiden thinks, with that, I've repaid the debt from my past life. Old man, now nobody owes anybody anything. Curdle continues, but there's something else I'd like to talk about. I heard from the other priests that you came here, and the saint is practically the future of our order. The rule says that she must stay with the order to get the education she didn't receive. Our order has failed in its duties and credibility, first with the incident 10 years ago, and now with this recent situation. So I thought it wouldn't be right to insist on keeping the saint here just for the future of the order. The order concluded that Curdle's proposal was to establish a branch of the Order of the Sacred Fire in Remes territory. That way, Ellis could receive an education at the Order's branch and also stay in Remes territory. Above all, the establishment of a branch of the Order in the territory was tremendously good news. Branches of the Order are usually established in places with power and influence, so having a branch in Remes territory would symbolize that the Remes family possesses such power. Aiden reflects, it seems that my actions to save the people have been realized and returned to me as a great stroke of luck.